Good evening, and welcome to the Doom City of Granitegard, our weekly live play fantasy adventure here on the Guardtower Presents. We stream every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with new episodes posted to YouTube on Fridays. We do apologize for last week. We were supposed to have another one of our How to Play series, but unfortunately our producer and several other of our players got sick, so that did put a bit of a damper on that. But thank goodness this week everybody is back in full health, so we can have a regular scheduled episode here. So a little bit of a thank you on that. Yes, very much so. But so if you are interested in catching up on any of our previous episodes, you can always go on to the Guardtower's YouTube channel and check all those out, which includes our original How to Play and episodes 1 through 13. This is our 14th episode right now?
Yep, 14.
14, amazing, still going. Longer than most Netflix series I've running on that. So, yeah, I mean,
that's hurtful.
Don't jinx us, we might get canceled before season 2.
No, because we're awesome. Anyway, the most convenient way that you can find the Guardtower's YouTube channel and all of the social media that the Doom City of Granitegard utilizes is by going to where, Joe?
In a world where heroes must find our social media accounts, one URL will take you there. Linktree, linktr.ee/dcog. You'll buy a whole seat, but you only need the edge. Puts on sunglasses. Explosions. Gasoline explosions. Coming to a theater near you this summer.
Well, that is certainly better than any of the other times I've been on stuff.
Where do we pay? Who takes my money?
Well, yes.
Me, I do.
I think we found our spokesperson for Linktree on that. Tonight we want to thank our friends again at Pocket Bard for the wonderful music that you hear there in the background. If you haven't checked it out, Pocket Bard is an amazingly easy app to use. It has a seamless transition from just your regular background music into the combat and intensity, as well as sound effects. Whew, okay, still pulling it back together after Joe there. So head over to your Apple Play Store, I'll talk about them as well. Wasn't prepared. That's fantastic. Head over to the Apple Apple App Store or Google Play. So easy for me to say, keep those straight, because I'm really good with modern technology on that. And download it today. We'd also like to thank Ang's Pizza tonight. If I get my mouth working, tonight's episode is going to go so much better. Maybe this is the episode that gets us canceled like Netflix.
Hey, you know what helps that? A slice of pizza.
Angie's Pizza, yes. They have
That's what I do before the show.
A chicken and bacon with the Alfredo sauce pizza that is actually our favorite.
It's the chicken bacon ranch.
Chicken bacon ranch. It is absolutely amazing, and apparently there's all kinds of money going around tonight.
The Reverend loves money.
Well, you can count on that money disappearing. In addition to going out and checking out our Pocket Bar, go ahead and check over Angie's Pizza there. It's fantastic. Actually, we enjoy here often, to be truthful with you on that. And they have a fantastic crew of people making the pizza over there. And quick question, are you going to Origins this year? Well, we are. Origins is going to be at the Ohio Convention Center, and that is June 21st through the 25th. And we're going to be in room A120, which is located right across from Exhibit Hall A. And that works out pretty well.
That's true.
And those are right by the escalators as you come down from there, so really easy to find us. We have a host of different events that are going on, so there's still some tickets left for those. But, if you stop into the room and we happen to just have a little bit of spare time, you never know, we might do a little bit of a impromptu pickup game there on the tabletop. So, stop in and see us on that. But the big night that we'd like to talk to you about is the Saturday evening. Starting at 4 p.m., we're doing an official meet and greet with all the cast and crew of the Doom City of Granitegard. It's a chance for us to get to talk to you, answer some questions one-on-one with that, talk about our possibilities for season 2, hint, hint. Talk about behind-the-scenes things that are going on, ask questions about the characters, things like that you're interested in. We'd love...
And some of us might be in cosplay as our characters.
Oh, this is very true. You might see us even moving about around the floor. If I dress my cosplay, I'll probably stressed out DM, everybody knows what that guy looks like. So, come and see us there. That would be fantastic on that. And our amazing monitor will put up the link to help find our episode, our events a little bit easier there. but you will need a ticket. They are free. All the events that we're running are free, but again, you do need a ticket as far as Origins goes.
Joe tried selling me a ticket.
Did it
I
work?
Did.
I believe that. Did he use the Reverend voice when he did it?
I couldn't say no.
Oh my goodness gracious. So
I sell 8 sliced toast to a 1-person family.
You look like a man who eats a lot of toast.
Oh my goodness. And if you are interested in getting into tabletop RPGs like we're doing here, we encourage you to go to your local gaming store. It is the #1 easiest source to find all the materials that you need to get into it. Everything from hard sci-fi over to high fantasy. But beyond all that, most of your local gaming stores will also get you into the player community, where you can meet new people that have interests in the games that you want to play as well. It is a great way to break into it. We suggest heading over to the Guardtower, either the east or west location. Staff will certainly point you in the direction of what you're looking for, but beyond that, they have an incredible player community there. So definitely take advantage of that. Something that I didn't have back in the day. They sold the books and told you to get out of the store for the most part. But yes, you can also check out the Guard Tower. You can just look and order things via the internet at theguardtower.com. But I definitely encourage you to swing by the stores. It is definitely worth the experience. And right here where our studio is located is going to be the brand new West store, and it is going to be humongous. So when that opens up here in a couple months, I think July, I think is what they're looking for on
Yeah,
that.
it's a little over 5,000 square feet.
Yeah, a little over 5,000 square feet. Absolutely amazing. I mean, I remember
Look
going
at all
to
this
the Drowsy Dragon, which was a game shop about the size of this room. back
Change
in
the
the
green
day.
screen to store.
So, but yes, highly encourage you to check that out. And I think that I've pretty much covered most of the business that I had. Roger, would there be anything that you wanted to talk
Yeah,
about tonight?
I've got a few things. I got a few things I gotta get off my chest tonight.
Have at thee, sir.
First things first. Joe, that was amazing.
Thank you.
I feel nervous giving an announcement after listening to what you've just produced for us. But I'm gonna try my best, and here it goes. So, earlier today, if you were hanging out on the Discord, you probably would have seen that I posted a link to a Google form for our community leadership interest form. Essentially, we're trying to grow, we're trying to expand, and we want to bring all of you along with us. Exactly. So if you're interested in maybe displaying some of the cool art that you do on the side, maybe you want to help us lead some events, build up some of this engagement, maybe you want to help us with moderating the chat, we would love to get your interest. And as we grow and develop a few more branches and come up with some better, cooler ideas, we'll be asking for some assistance. So please, please, please take a look at our server. Join that if you are interested, and I believe we'll also be dropping a link in the chat momentarily so you can find that in a simple fashion. So check it out and let us know if you have any questions. But I think that's it I've got. Anybody else got anything important?
No, I
Nothing important, I guess.
feel that my announcer skills are certainly not up to snuff after that incredible announcement over Linktr.ee right there. But
I know.
The bar
is there
has
anybody
been
that's interested in throwing some
raised.
dice tonight?
Me.
Very
Let's
good.
throw some dice.
Wow, he even stole that from me. Oh, wait, so let's go ahead and check out our intro. Maybe Joe can narrate that for us.
It's just Joe talking.
I rolled a 1.
Get in the
Like the way
dice.
this evening is
Good,
going.
you get it out of the way, yeah.
So did I.
Yes.
Pass me by.
Get them all out.
That is going to be fan. No, don't get them all out.
Yes.
Hey, I think I need to
Save some
do I
for
need to
me.
pass you the die, or?
No, we should start the intro now.
Once the seat of economic and political power in the Northern Territories, the city of Granitegard fell in one catastrophic moment of terror and bloodshed. In the quiet hours of the night, the massive granite mesa that served as the city's namesake exploded violently, the debris reducing entire swaths of the city to ruin. Before the inhabitants could even comprehend what had happened, they were blindsided by an army of monstrosities surging from the sewers and into the city streets. The militia valiantly attempted to protect the fleeing citizens, but their efforts were futile against the overwhelming tide of bloodthirsty creatures. And in the midst of the chaos, the city gates slammed shut, turning Granitegard into a death trap for anyone that remained behind the high, fortified walls that had been meant to protect them. For over a decade, it has stood as silent as a tomb, and shrouded in a perpetual mist. No one has entered, and nothing human has ever come out. That is, until now. 12 years to the day since the fall of Granitegard, the Trader's Gate has opened. The news has spread like wildfire across the human crescent, and like a siren's call, Fortune hunters from far and wide have been drawn by the possibility of untold riches lying just inside the city walls, daring the foolish and the brave to risk it all at a chance of wealth beyond their wildest dreams. It has also stirred the interest of old rivals, with no one from the original bloodline to claim the mantle of leadership of Granitegard. Plans are forming in the dark. Powerful forces seek to play their games of state, as the lives of everyone in the north hangs in the balance. And in the midst of this all, 6 strangers have been drawn to Granitegard by something other than riches or power. Their destiny is tied to the events surrounding the fall of the city. Each of them must confront the past in order to find a way forward. Each of them must search for answers in the doomed city of Granitegard.
All right, and welcome back. So before we jump into tonight's adventure, we're going to do a bit of a recap and bring you back up to speed there. When our party had visited the buried chambers beneath the Two Flagons Tavern down in the Shambles, they discovered a strange relic called the Keystone. Returning to Newtown, they sought out to discover what this keystone might be, but unfortunately they had not uncovered any answers there. But Katya, the mother whose child they had rescued from the goblins of the Two Flagons Tavern, told them about a secret passage located in the lower Garrison Tower that could possibly get the party into Granitegard without having to go through the dangers of the front gate. Before the party could set out to investigate these claims, however, they were summoned to the lumber mill to aid the workers that had been attacked by a dragon. As it turned out, the dragon was a basilisk that had been purposely loosed near the mill, but by whom was the question. Before the party had a time to dwell on that, unfortunately, trumpets had sounded, drawing their attention back to Newtown. As they approached Newtown, they were caught up in the throng of onlookers that actually brought them into the town itself following a military procession from the Concordance. Just as the heroes were trying to figure out what was going on, a man named King George, or claiming to be King George, stepped forth from the procession and announced his claim on the city of Granitegard. Not only did he announce his claim on Granitegard, but he brought with him a military force plus gold. And the citizens were able to all gather themselves a 50 gold piece if they were to swear fealty to King George and his cause of retaking the city. Our party decided not to get involved in this, and as they were looking to back away, they were summoned by Lord Arundel to join him at his estate. While they were there, they were pleasantly surprised to learn that Arundel was a prior associate of 2 of their members, and he did reveal quite a bit of background information to them. He also revealed that he was part of an organization called the Eyes of the North, which had been a spy organization that had served the sovereigns of Granitegard since its beginning. He did encourage them to go into the city of Granitegard to try to track down, number 1, information to help Anna reclaim the status of her family, which could then be used as a bartering piece on possibly interrupting George's claim to the throne should that become necessary. The party ventured down towards the Shambles, and as they did so, the weather turned very sour and torrential rains made the journey across the open fields a brutal slog. And just as they had reached the Garrison Tower and were slipping in through the front gate, Anna, being the last member of the party, saw the shadowy figure of the woman in black that Skeech and Noah had seen during their first visit to the Shambles. Fortunately for them, nothing seemed to happen with that, and they were able to make it inside the Garrison Tower. But once in the room, they discovered a guard, and at the Reverend's encouragement, Damon took the guard's life. Much to the shock of young Pavis, who had just happened to walk into the room as this occurred.
Maybe it's his first marker.
Maybe not his first, we're not sure. He didn't scream and run away. Pavis seems to have seen a couple of things in his time. With the boys' help, though, they were able to find the center of the tower where the supposed secret entrance was located. As the party was contemplating what to do, they heard heavy footsteps of several individuals approaching down the stairwell. The Reverend took on a disguise, and Vaughn located the entrance to the secret passage and had just pressed it. And Vaughn, as you had pressed it again, these locking mechanism sounds you could hear inside there, a little click, and on almost soundless hinges, the stone slides back. You can hear it just kind of slightly grade, stone on stone, and then shift over to the edge. And in front of you is a way down on these carved steps out of the limestone that goes down into the ground. It is not illuminated. You can smell the dampness coming up from below there. It's a really earthy scent. And again, now you can hear those steps clomping down. I believe the count that I had last time left off at 15, 14,
We go in.
13,
Now, go.
Yep.
12, 10,
Yep, I'll
He's
take up the back of the
ushering
line.
and
Yep.
leading.
We don't know if it's gonna close. You're not gonna have time.
7,
Get inside, Reverend.
6,
I run up.
5.
There is not time.
I run up, and I stop in front of the first phalanx of guards, and is the other guard, Jerry. I start giving a dramatic retelling of the spiders which have escaped from the downstairs, and they're on their way. And I spend the next minute reciting, and if you're listening closely, it sort of takes the cadence of a poem. But I recite this to them, and hopefully they're going to have to make a wisdom save.
All right, what's the number to beat on that? Oh, no.
14.
Don't worry about that.
14.
Oh, no. So if they were to fail miserably at this,
They are now charmed by the Reverend's charming sermon.
so they swallow your line about the spider's hook, line, and sinker, and you can see the panic. They're like, they're free! Oh my
All right,
gosh!
here's what I need you men to do. I'm gonna go back down there, and I'll hold them off. You don't let anyone else down this stairwell.
All right, Jerry, all right. Isn't he like a complete alcoholic? Get up the stairs, let's go!
Tell songs of my bravery, men. To battle! Ah!
Charging off. You can see for a moment there's a look of questioning on his face, like they're trying to recount bravery for this Jerry character, but then they're like, we know Jerry's gonna go die and buy us the time we need to get back up the stairs. So back up the stairs they begin tromping. It sounds like the footsteps are getting further and further.
And now I'll hoof it back down the steps and through the door, and I say, all right, fine, we need to shut the door.
All right. So let me ask this question now. Who was the first one down? Charging into the pitch black
I
darkness.
was holding the door opening so it wouldn't shut on us.
Thanks.
I'll say I went in.
All right, so you're the first one down.
Sure.
All
Right
right.
up the rear, yeah.
Mary goes down first. Who's following second?
I'll do it.
All right, we got Echo. Behind that's going to be Sky.
I am waiting for the Reverend to run through.
All right. All right, then Skeech, I'm assuming you're following then.
I'm also waiting for the Reverend.
You're also waiting for the Reverend? All right, so then we've got Anna. So at the
Okay,
top of the
yeah.
opening, you see the Reverend, or Jerry, come out of the stairwell with a, I don't know, what is your expression at this point? Are you looking
I look
relaxed?
pretty pleased with myself, which probably doesn't surprise you.
The modest expression that he normally wears sits upon his face. That was sarcasm. Anyway, yes, so the Reverend has returned. What are we doing?
The risky move. Get inside.
But a risky move, but it worked, and I go in.
Jet on in?
I'm after him.
After him?
Is it
Skeech?
dark inside?
Okay, the door remains wide open as you all are in the stairwell now.
That's problematic.
We'll get
Can I
You
try
can
to push
actually,
it?
yes, you grab it,
Yeah.
it swings very easily on those hinges. Again, soundlessly until stone meets stone, and there's just a very slight drag as it clicks into place. And just as it clicks, you can see the stone reset right against the stone. And now it is complete pitch black darkness. You can see absolutely nothing. There is no light source whatsoever.
I hold up one of my, the trinket on around my neck. I hold it up, and it begins to shed light.
All right, I believe that is 10...
20 feet.
20 feet? Okay, that should definitely be enough to
I
illuminate all of your...
remember, if I recall, I had some sort of trinket on me that eliminated light.
Sphere of
Can
light.
you remind me what it was?
Oh, the
Spheres of light.
the spheres, yeah.
Yes.
Clap
I
on,
want to
clap
use
off.
that.
All right, you turn yours on as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you guys certainly have plenty of illumination as you are sitting there in this carved stairwell that is definitely leading down deep into the earth itself. It is a long spiral staircase, and as I said, it's carved right out of the bedrock, and it leads down from that concealed doorway, and it is dark and claustrophobic. It is not much wider than your shoulders. As a matter of fact, those of you that are a little more broad shoulders can actually feel the earth kind of brushing along either side with your armor. It certainly is at points in time will catch. Mary, you're a little bit more diminutive than Anna's more robust frame, but it is still with your armor a bit of a fit as you move along. Skeet, you're glad that your backpack's much smaller than it used to be on that. But again, it's really only enough room for one adult-sized human to move at a time. And it looks like it was purposely designed to create a choke point coming up and down this particular the stairs themselves. And again, the air itself is stale and has this really nasty, earthy taste in your mouth. If you've been into a cave before, that kind of stagnant taste to the air itself. It is cool and it is slightly damp, which is kind of refreshing, to be very honest with you. But again, that really heavy earthen feeling. And after about, I don't know, you'd say about 7 or 8 minutes of you moving down this stairwell, it just keeps spinning down, and it's really strange the way the darkness and stuff outside of your globe affects your perception of the walls and stuff. It's almost like closing tighter and tighter. You know it isn't really, because you can see the walls next to you, but it's that very claustrophobic feeling. Just when it becomes almost too much, the stairwell itself ends. And it ends very abruptly into a tunnel. And as you look at the tunnel itself, it does not seem to be made out of the same material that the bedrock does. It is that carved granite, once again, that you've seen other structures made out of before. And now you step out into a longer tunnel. And what are you doing at this point?
I imagine if they were going to be following us, they would have already come down after us. So it seems we've narrowly dodged this one.
Not to toot my own horn,
Toot away, Reverend.
but I solved several of our problems back there. You see, their lost companion, well, they now think that...
Lost companion?
Yes. They now think that he died a valiant death descending from the spiders, which they also think are coming to kill them. So I suspect they're going to hide out.
And is this for their benefit or for yours?
Well, I don't do anything if it's not for my benefit. And I think that you know that.
This entire time that you guys have been having this conversation, it is reverberating off the walls like a shot. Just boom, boom, boom. In this tunnel that you're in, it's about 20 feet by 10 feet tall, and the sounds just keep echoing down, 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 further and further. Every sound that you basically make is echoed. It's an incredible amplification here, letting you know that the tunnel definitely travels a very good distance. The moisture is condensed up on the ceiling in here and actually drips down, and there are puddles on the floor itself. And again, the walls are that strange spade shape that you had seen before, made out of granite. And the darkness extends only one direction from where your tunnel is currently carved through the granite itself. And looking at that, you can see where it has been done by a little less fine work than the actual construction of the granite walls themselves in here.
This is not the time for this conversation. Thank you for the assistance that you offered in getting us out of there. But I'll leave it at that.
I don't intend to have the rest of this conversation because I have a clear conscience. The question of all is to you.
Reverend, this is not a conversation of clearing one's conscience. It's a conversation on what is right and what is wrong. That individual was, as far as I was concerned, unarmed and posed no threat, as they were in a wicked, drunken stupor when you asked for their throat to be slit. It looks to Damon. You were the vehicle in which this act was carried out, so I do not hold you to blame. You were the one who pulled the blade, as far as I'm concerned.
I carry that, Vaughn. That man was a killer. He was gonna tell his friends about us. Now, where you come from up in them ivory towers, there's good and bad, right and wrong, evil and righteous. Down here in the mud, it's a little bit grayer.
I understand the gray and the nuance of this, and do not speak to me as if I do not. What I am saying is there were other alternatives we could have considered rather than ending this individual's life so quickly. Reverend, regardless of what you believe me to be or where I come from, I hold you in high esteem. And I understand that you have felt pain in your life, but I think we all have. And that does not give you the right to be judge, juror, and executioner in every decision that one makes.
Here's how it's gonna go. Now, I've said this before. I do not believe in destiny. Those are stories for children. But for some reason, we've all been brought together, and our purposes align for now. And until they don't, I will give you my aid and even my companionship, Vaughn, because I do like you as well. But you might have to agree to disagree with some of the choices that I make, as I will for you.
See, there is a pain of recognition in what he thinks you're mentioning.
There's a little twinkle in my eye when I say it.
What are the rest of you doing? Just standing around kind of awkwardly like...
Mommy and Daddy are fighting.
While this is happening, I want to kind of lean over to Damon and be like, that like flick of the wrist at the end to like clean your blade, that was incredible. That was amazing. I just noticed it's the little things that are so hard to accomplish, and yeah. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just it's the flourish, really. Yeah.
Wow.
I just, you know.
Okay.
Echo and Sky are just like every time one person speaks, their both ears are up, and then to the other person, just like
There was
back and
popcorn.
forth, holding onto every word.
I want to kind of move down the tunnel a little bit because unlike a lot of my human friends here, my very tall, large friends, I can see a little bit better in the dark than most of them.
Are
So
you
I wanna
going up
keep,
in the front?
Yeah.
And before you get too far ahead, I touch you and I say, Skeech, go with my blessing, assuming you still want it.
Oh, I'm not gonna kill anybody. Thanks.
I heard that.
Saucy. I like it.
All right, Skeech, you begin moving ahead, and as far down as you can see, the tunnel just continues straight. There don't appear to be any sideways that connect to it. It's just this straight shot.
Okay, I'll move a little bit further down to the tunnel to where I would be able to see if something was coming up, and I'll wait there for them to catch up.
Oh, and Skeech is no longer with you.
We have more pressing issues, and I think there is strong logic in what you are presenting. I do not have to like or appreciate or fully understand your methods, but you are correct. We've been brought together for a reason, regardless of if you fully understand or appreciate aspects of that. Reverend, hear me whenever I say this. I see you differently than I think you see yourself. I think there's hope for you yet. Takes off walking after Skeech.
Oh. Into the darkness long strides.
I'll follow after.
Sky's looking up at you, Echo, and kind of like looking down the tunnel, looking up at you.
He's just kind of looking between the two of them and just kind of starts following, but just like looking at the Reverend as he's going.
So is it just everyone just like leaving me behind?
One by one, they
I'm
seem to be
waiting.
trailing off.
I'm gonna bring up the end of the, yeah.
I'm gonna walk with Vaughn.
All right,
Yeah,
off you go.
yeah.
Just walk at the back and boy myself. Dejected Reverend kind of starts circling along, and with Anna bringing up the rear on there. It is really difficult for you all to judge how long you walk. There is nothing to mark time, nothing to mark distance. It is the same looking tunnel, step after step after step. Anything that enters into the light that you have exposed looks the same as everything that just left the light at that point. It just keeps going and going and going. And like I said, it is really hard to judge the amount of distance that you walk. The only thing that seems to change is all of a sudden you begin to notice the sounds don't sound as far away as they're reverberating back to you. And the air also begins to feel slightly different in front of you, as if there was more space behind you. And then finally, Skeech, in the distance you can see where the tunnel ends. And it is this smooth wall of the granite from ceiling to floor. There might be some more that you're not able to notice given the distance that you are, but that's what you see directly up ahead.
I hate that for us.
I won't say anything.
Keep on walking.
They'll figure it out.
All right, so the rest of you continue forward, and then first thing you see is that Skeech ends up coming into the light because, well, Skeech has run out of room to walk. And the next thing you see is the wall itself is now exposed. It is the same granite that the walls of this thing are made out of, except it is a flat, sheer slab of it that is blocking the entire tunnel entrance, which is relatively unremarkable except for the fact that in the right-hand corner of the room is this arm sticking out from underneath this slab of granite, and it looks like it was clutching something. It has been here for a long time. It has basically mummified and is wearing some plate armor.
Can we see what's in the hand?
You would have to go over and try to examine it.
Okay. Well, I know everyone is real pleased with me right now, but if you could give me about 10 minutes, I can try and figure out if that's a magical trap.
Okay.
Glad you don't find all of my skills objectionable. So I go and I kind of sit down near, but not touching the hand. And I begin kind of waving one of my potion bottles around and casting magic sense as a ritual.
How close are you to when you do this? How many feet away?
I don't want to touch it because I'm trying to figure out like if we're allowed to touch it, basically. So 20 feet because I have 30 feet range.
Okay, so you're about 20 feet away, which is kind of where you all had stopped, right at the edge of the light as you're casting this, and you can see the spell that you cast travel through the air and kind of splashes down in the zone as it sprinkles across the wall itself, and nothing appears to pick up on the magic end of things, to detect the magic on that. However, as you do this, the hand begins to quiver for just a moment, and these little sparks begin to lift up off the hand, 1 or 2, and then suddenly 4 or 5, and then several dozens, and then you're looking at hundreds of these things streaming off, these little teeny firefly-looking dots. And as they stream up into the air, they begin to coalesce, and then they begin to drift down in the shape of a man. Sir Gendron, would you please describe yourself?
What?
The apparition you see is of a large, muscular male, clad in armor that was certainly once shining. He's got a trim goatee, a bald dome, and he's covered in ghastly wounds. He sits there, arms crossed in front of the granite wall, and booms, "None shall pass."
Immediately drops down to both knees. Sir Gendron? There's no... This is a trick of the light. This is no way that it's possibly...
My goodness. Varen? Is that you? No.
No.
Heavens, no.
No, Gendron.
Curse my spectral eyes. He vanishes and reappears in front of Vaughn, kneeling.
You
My
don't have
liege.
to kneel for me.
My liege, I had not recognized you. Please forgive me. It appears I'm still nearsighted, even in death.
Rise, Sir Gendron.
Oh, you were but a child when I last saw you. I'd hug you if it wasn't for my current, predicament, I suppose. Sorry I used the scary voice. It usually works to keep people away.
It was really very impressive.
Oh, thank you. Goodness, you were just a wee child when I saw you. Your nan spiriting you away down this tunnel. Good gracious.
12 years ago.
It's been that long. Oof. Well, I've been down here for 12 years then. I'm relieved you escaped. What's become of your family? Varen? No, you look just like your father. But your mother's eyes.
You see a single tear. I presume them all dead. Drescher was only able to get me out.
Then you are the rightful lord of Granitegard. He kneels again.
Rise, Gendron.
Yes, sire.
Did you need us all to kneel, Your Highness?
I might have found that amusing in different circumstances.
Yeah, about 15 minutes ago, right?
I thought it was funny.
So how do you know each other?
Well, I knew Vaughn as a child growing up in the castle. How's your shield arm, by the way?
I think he would be slightly disappointed
Mm-hmm.
in where my training went after the fall.
I figured as much. You look good, though. There's some muscles on you still. Here, let me see. And he reaches over, like, feel your muscles.
He, like, kind of leans into it. You imagine, like, a show affection.
Very big muscles. I can tell you've been very brave.
Oh my god.
Well, I suppose I should explain what happened. My men and I, we swore an oath in life to guard this here tunnel, to hold it back against the hordes, buy our people time they needed to escape the city. And if we could not hold it at bay, we would seal the tunnel. And he gestures behind him, at the cost of our own lives.
I saw what happened up until, well, the debris fell, and then I lost consciousness.
I swear we held it as long as it could, but the orcs and the goblins, they swarmed us like rats, wave after wave. We made them pay in rivers of blood. Oh, rivers for every step they forced us to give. Every step. But when we knew it would fall, I sealed the tunnel, bringing it down on myself. All of you folks, my name in life was Sir Gendron, but my wife simply knew me as Galen.
Galen, nice to meet you, friend.
Pleased to meet you. Now, who's the leader of the group?
It's kind of a joint acquisition type of thing.
It's a little bit of a bone of contention.
I see. Undisciplined. Right. I'm a military man. Well, when you got here, did you take the Garrison Tower?
No.
In a sense.
It'd be good to take the tower, because if you're venturing into Granitegard, then you'll want a base to return to, a base of operations service.
Oh, yeah, well, we went in the tower and we, there were some ne'er-do-wells inside there.
Ne'er-do-wells. Goblins?
No.
Just pulling the apron.
Is it getting between Gendron?
He's casually standing.
Humans, real nasty lot. We fought a pitched battle, and we barely escaped with our lives. I see the needles that are being or daggers being shot at me. Say, you look like a kind of a knight in shining armor type, swore an oath. Anna, do you know this character?
You seem like an honest and holy man yourself.
I am very holy and honest. You are a good judge of character, my friend.
Thank you.
He's also Harry's over there choking.
The Reverend is a complex individual, but he is with me, yes.
He's got a big head.
Yes.
We're all complex.
So,
Slinking to the back of the party.
I got you, Skeet.
do you think, well, I guess the obvious question is, how are you talking to us right now?
Oh, well, I don't quite understand how ghosts work, even being a ghost myself. But I guard this tunnel. That was my vow in life. And anyone who tries to cross, I appear to them and dissuade them.
I
Do one way or another.
consider it a service, but my recent training, if you will, may lend some assistance to your current predicament. If you're interested in what exactly it is that is tying you here, I could attempt to determine that for you.
Well, it's a long story, and I don't want to burden you with it. But I suppose if you were to help me, I could raise the tunnel. There is only one thing keeping me here, tethered to my mortal coil. That is my wife. There was a locket I wanted to give to her. Some time ago, time for me, I can't exactly tell whether it's been days or decades, but some time ago, a man came to these tunnels, a brigand. His heart was only after earthly spoils. He took the locket from my outstretched hand you see there. I appeared to him and he cut a deal with me. He told me that he knew of my wife. He said that he'd bring it to her, and in exchange I would raise the tunnel and allow him to plunder the riches of Granitegard. But he vanished with it, the coward. Connected to the locket, I was able to pursue him. And well, you see, I'd never haunted anyone before. I think I may have overdone it. I gave him no rest, no quarter. Everywhere he went, I would hop into the body of a cat or a passerby and gently remind him that he owed a debt to the dead. And, well, he didn't seem to heed my words, and so I made my haunting more and more common. At night, I caused blood to drip on him from the ceilings.
It's a classic.
I didn't know I could do that. I went into the body of his cat. I feel guilty. He threw the cat out the window.
So, gentlemen.
It survived, I think. Perhaps lame.
One of those 9 lives.
Yes, famously so. Well, finally he, to help his tortured soul, he procured the services of a woman of the night. But before he could slake his lust, I possessed her. Interesting experience, very strong. I could feel it was almost like I was in my old body. And then I gently reminded him again that he owed a debt to the dead. And that's when I think he broke.
Yeah.
He ran into the woods. I dogged him every step of the way, jumping into birds, squirrels, chipmunks. I hounded them all the way to Nobles' Bridge. And there he met a fate worse than I could have devised for him. He fled into the clutches of a vile creature known as the Collector.
Oh, yeah.
Some kind of troll. It's almost like it's part troll, part ogre. I've never quite seen something like that before.
We met that fella.
Ah, so then you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
A repulsive beast, unnatural. It stalks the ruins of the shambles. You'll be able to find it based on the strange things it's done there.
Well, wait, you mean we gotta find the Collector?
It has my locket.
Could you please remind us what that locket looks like, Sir Gendron?
Oh, it's a small golden locket, and when you open it, there's a cameo of my dear wife in there. It should be easy to identify. It's an abandoned bazaar by the Nobles' Bridge. If you find my locket and return it to my wife, and bring proof that you have done this, I shall raise the gate, and you may enter Granitegard.
So we gotta go back the way we came?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, into the tower?
Fun times.
It's not that long a walk. I'd make this walk twice a day when I was on my patrols.
Well, you don't have legs.
Yeah, well, there's
When I was-
complications.
Apologies. So, Gendron, there's an occupancy of roughly 40 individuals in the Garrison Tower.
39.
roughly, in the tower currently. However, I believe that the odds may have shifted in our favor if you are willing to fight with us.
He kind of hikes up his, well, very well. I shall accompany you.
What kind of ghost powers you got?
Well, clearly dripping on blood.
Right, typical possession.
I just put like a hand on the sky and kind of interpose myself.
I got this thing that I can do where I can make people live in a nightmare that hurts them. You can do that?
Somewhat, yes. I can take on a horrifying visage and really scare people.
All right. I think we can make some noise in there now.
If he's coming with us, can you make sure he's not going to hurt me?
So, Jimmy,
it's all right, little goblin. I see you. I'm not prejudiced against all of your species.
Which definitely shocks you to the core, seeing as how he can see through your disguise.
Yeah, okay.
It's all right.
Well,
Though I'm still nearsighted, I have certain other powers.
Is your soul still sharp?
Maul, actually.
Oh.
And he whips it up, and even though it's spectral, it's still got a lot of heft.
At this point,
I didn't think you could get any cooler. Oh my god.
Can I want to
Oh
touch
no,
it
that's a
and
nice
see-
weapon you have.
Oh,
Big
thank
girly
you.
over
Is
here.
it like, can I pass through the mall? Or does it feel...
it passes.
Aren't you already betrothed?
Well, it was
He
cooler
is
when
a
I was alive.
friend.
well, if we're going to go back to the tower, I got an idea. You already let them know that the spiders were coming.
Yes, I did.
We could make that the truth.
well, Pavis is in there. We gotta get him out.
What if he comes with us?
Just put them in the tunnel.
Oh yeah, we've got a goblin and a ghost. We just got more the merrier.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just collecting friends all around Granitegard.
I'm for it.
I think Granitegard is currently a place where we need friends.
Can we disguise him?
Which one?
Pavis.
Oh,
I have this cream.
yeah, we can if we need to.
And the other ones like him, Pavis? There's certainly more kids there. How are we gonna bring them all down the tunnel?
Is there a safe place they can hide until we
Not
come
if
back?
we're releasing the spiders.
I think the primary concern should be to get those, like you said, the children they have in their employ, to safety. Let this be a stealth approach before battle ensues or we release anything else.
Okay.
How are we gonna determine? I'm with you. If there's kids in there, we gotta get them out. That's no life for them to live. But how are we gonna separate them from the armed men who wanna do us harm?
Could ask Pavis.
There's also a thought that I don't think any of you considered. We put the lock back on the door, so if they walked back down the stairs to see how it was going with our dear friend Jerry, the lock is back on the door so they know they were duped. So they could be all over the tower now, not just upstairs.
So, Jenny,
Yes?
I imagine that walls pose no issue or concern for you in the current state.
If they're thin enough, yes.
Could I ask for you to be our eyes? Give us an understanding of what they're currently doing in the Garrison Tower.
A scouting mission.
If it
I'm on
pleases
it,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Well, that's handy. This relationship here.
Are there any other thoughts? How we should approach this?
I think we need to come to one point of order. If it comes to blows, and I will clarify that I do not want to do battle with 39 foes at this point. But if it does come to blows, we need to have some sort of agreement on the rules of engagement.
38. I'll be taking one of them.
He's in.
Now 38 foes isn't that much. I once took on 50 all by myself in a narrow canyon pass. The key is once you start swinging the maul to not stop swinging. It's the momentum. You see, the maul swings itself. It's not in the arms. It swings itself.
So would you say sometimes you have to slay your foes in order to do justice?
Sometimes by the dozens, unfortunately.
Yeah, all right, well.
I do also believe part of the lessons that you shared with me, Sir Gendron, was about honor and virtue and ensuring that the individuals that we were slaying had an opportunity to defend themselves appropriately.
Above all else, my boy. Sir, sorry.
It's fine.
Justice and honor are all great things when we're in society, but we are barely in it. Let's be real, it should be about survival first. But what good is all of that if we're dead? We gotta protect ourselves.
I agree with you, Echo. I think the circumstances have shifted.
All right, just want to make sure because when we get in there, we can't delay.
But I do have one further point to clarify. Reverend, I couldn't help but notice that I believe you have a particular bone to pick with an individual residing here. I want to make sure you're not going to do anything that would endanger yourself and through you, us.
I appreciate your concern. The Gray was a member of the Thieves Guild and someone that I knew in a past life. Oh, well, he knew my parents.
Understood.
He's working for the Way. I would like to ask him a few pointed questions, and I can't help but touch my rapier when I say that. But I think that it can wait because I would like to make it out of that encounter alive. So I'm not going to go running up to the top of that tower if that's what you mean.
At least not alone, right?
Vaughn comes over and a hand on the shoulder, like kind of like a little bit of a tighter squeeze. And when it comes to that, Reverend, know that you will have my full support.
Same.
He's kind of like, he's visibly uncomfortable. Like, well, shucks, it's a real love-in. Hey, so we gotta go down, back down this tunnel and go fight some thugs, yeah?
Gendron, you scout ahead. Let us know what you see. I'll wait for your report.
Very well. Alright, and then I suppose Gendron's gonna vanish.
All right. And
While he's gone, I just want to turn over to Vaughn and say,
So are you friends with like all the dead people, or just most of them?
No, Skeech.
Because there were the skeletons.
We weren't.
There were the skeletons.
We were not friends, Skeech.
They seemed friendly.
That was a point of order. That was a necessity. We were temporarily friends. Let's say that. Temporarily allies. As I was making sure that Anna was taken care of. She was surrounded.
Well, I figured I'd ask because there's going to be a lot of them.
And you know, Vaughn, I am so thankful for that. And I just want to put my hand like on his shoulder, and I also want to drop in 1 point of the divine energy, and just see if it has any effect. Yeah.
doesn't seem to hurt him in any way, shape, or form.
Great, cool. That's question answered. Fantastic. Yep.
Ear check, undead check.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like little.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yes, but Ali, you mentioned that the Grey knew your parents. You don't mind if I call you that, do you? I feel like we've known each other for so long now.
I really, really do mind. That was the name that Wyatt called me when we were boys. My name is the Reverend Goodberries.
You were so close.
So, what do you want to know since we have abundant free time here?
I guess I'm just curious. How did you make it out?
I was never in the city. I've never been inside this city my whole life.
No, I meant from your. It just sounded like when you were talking to Pavis. It just sounded like you were familiar with that path.
Were you part of the way?
Were you part of the way? And
Way wasn't. I believe they came here from elsewhere. Down south, I suspect, based on the way they clothes they wear and things like that. So I've spent some time around those parts. No, my family was just common crooks, which is why I have carried on their tradition to this day. While I like to think that I'm a high caliber of criminal, it's all the same, probably. My daddy was a highwayman, and he got himself killed doing that. And then my mama took over as the head of this little band of thieves. Small time compared to what the Way's doing. I was supposed to be the leader of this. So I am born to greatness like some of the rest of us here. But I didn't want a part of that, so I left as soon as I could. And, well, that's about enough for story time, I think.
Boo! Sorry, I couldn't help it. I've always wanted to do that. All right,
Mr. said he would not bear
The problem is Ginger now has bonded himself most likely to Vaughn and can only really go about 100 feet away from Vaughn at this point. So basically what he just did is disappeared and listened to your story.
Jidrin, he said he was not very good at haunting, but
Sorry, it turns out I can't actually go very far from here without either the locket or something else I'm bonded to. I think you'll need to take my hand.
Of course, children.
I mean,
Quite
like
literally,
the
like-
dead one. Like you take it up like off the ground.
I'll get it.
Is it really necessary?
No expert on ghosts, but I think so, yeah.
Can I walk over and just like rip it off?
Yes, absolutely. There's not even a contest of strength. Like, and the only thing that happens is the armor kind of falls off and the mummified hand is still there.
Ouch.
So the armor straps, those are free game?
Yep, they're
Oh,
free.
God.
It's not just the armor straps, it's the whole
No,
green.
the armor scraps.
Oh, scraps? Oh, yes.
Can you not, please? You're not gonna take.
I would at least
Okay.
ask permission.
You can have them.
He's not using them now.
Well, he's right here. I mean, you know,
Are you using these?
I'm not very materialistic anymore.
Listen, I've thieved a thing or two before in my life, but I just thought we should, add. I mean, I've never stolen anything in my life because I'm a man of God, and
Oh, come on, give it a rest.
Okay, so Vaughn, you kind of shoved it into your pocket or something? Nice. He said a back scratcher when you need
There is respect to be shown to Sir Gentleman.
I've got one hand in my pocket.
Oh, nice. So, okay. Touche. Wow. So.
If you get that song reference, then your knees hurt.
That was cutting.
So what are we doing now?
But okay.
We head back.
All right.
Back down the tunnel you all proceed. Back up the tight staircase up to the secret door. And as you're sitting on this side, you can now see as your light brings you up to the top that there actually is a release piece on the inside as well.
Thank God.
I was getting it.
How far can you travel?
100 feet, exactly.
It's not much, but it's useful if you're able to go forth. and at least tell us what's directly on here before we open this door, that'd be greatly appreciated, Sir Ginger.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I vanish again.
As you pass through the wall, again, it's the base of this is what leads to the stairwell that would lead up and up to the top of the tower. It's also the foundation for the tower itself. So the exterior walls are very thick and begin tapering as it goes further and further up, with the central staircase also being part of the spine that supports this thing as it winds to the top. The staircase is in the center of all the floors above from here. There are a total of 4 floors from where you sit to get to the very top of it. Immediately outside of the secret door here is that area where they first came in, where the murals are, and there appears to be nobody in here. There are 2 doors that lead into this room. The one that you went through first that connected over towards where the what would have been the sergeant's room for the supply sergeant and such. That is the one off the one side. The other one leads off into where the kitchen and dining area is. There appear to be 2 cooks over in the dining area making food. Inside the kitchen, over in the dining area, there are several rogues, thieves that are in there. About 6 of them. They seem to be drinking and kind of playing cards and hanging out there, but that's all there appears to be on the ground floor at this point. Nobody seems to be concerned right now about giant spiders or the place being on alert.
So I only see 8 people total.
Currently, without going up further, because he
Yes.
had asked about what you see directly outside of the room.
There we go. Okay.
Has it been an hour since we escaped?
That is really hard to tell.
Okay.
I'm going to,
If only somebody had a timepiece.
I'm going to return, apparating in front of Vaughn again. There's 6 of them right now. 2 cooks. No, sorry, 8. 2 cooks, 6 brigands.
Understood. They seem to be on alert.
They seem to be casual. Games. They
Unsuspecting.
are, yes.
Understood. Well, the approach then?
Word of advice, watch the shadows.
Thank you, Damon.
Can they jump out of the shadows and stab us like you?
Maybe? That is why I said it.
Well, it seems like an uncommon feat. I want to know how many of them can do it.
Depends on who's here.
Did kind of step on their line a little bit.
So would you say that, well, let me put this a different way. I had never seen anyone who could do that before. But now we know 2 groups of people that can do it. The Way and you.
Mm-hmm.
Gets little gears turning, don't it?
Can we just go now?
I want to make sure that we're clear on the plan moving forward. We're attempting to find Pavis and possibly some of the others as quietly, as silently as we possibly can to avoid any conflict until we get them somewhere safe.
Agreed.
And if we run into the Gray? Kill on sight? What's the approach?
He was a formidable combatant when I was a boy. I assume him and his 38, 37 friends are at least as formidable today. I don't think we can take him. As much as I want that, I don't think today's the day.
I think, especially given what you've shared, there's an increased value in that read, so thank you.
But one day, I am going to put this blade in his chest. But I've got a few questions to ask him first.
If you say so.
So, Ginger, as we proceed up through the Garrison Tower, continue to be our eyes as we move from room to room, hopefully letting us know if we're be on the lookout for the children. And just kind of describes what Pavis looks like. Primarily this one. But if there are others, we'd like to know this as well.
Of course, my liege.
Can we talk to you? Can you communicate to us at a distance?
No.
I've never tried that before, but let me see.
Go about like 50 feet over that way real quick. Just let me try something. Okay. All right. I pull out copper thread. Psst. Hey, Sir Gendron. This is the Reverend Goodberries. Can you hear me?
Unfortunately not.
What?
All right, that don't work. So you're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way.
What? Can I come back?
Yeah, come on back.
Okay. Pop back over.
We won't be able to communicate with you when you're away, so I guess I'll just have to report back at periodic intervals.
I'll do my best, man.
Before we go through the door and take it out, I'm just going to pull out that locket that Rose gave.
Mm-hmm.
First things first, make sure it's not the one that's just been described to us.
It is definitely not the one that has just been described.
It would be convenient.
God.
Wait, also right. I got it right here.
Weird.
But Gendron, you do recognize
like
the
everything's
locker.
request.
That is
Morning's
definitely
like 8.
How is she?
She's doing well.
How is everything? I've been trapped down here. Last I've heard, I saw a city when I was up there, but I was busy haunting, and I didn't get a good look around. What's the political situation? I'm curious.
Point of contention currently.
Yeah, the king came back.
George.
The king?
George.
George? Gambling George? That playboy?
He has returned and he has brought aid.
Oh, goodness. Oh, well, you can rest assured it's just he's either after gold, girls, or gambling. Those are the 3 G's that drive George, trust me.
Now wait a minute, maybe I got the wrong impression of this man. I'm starting to like him a little bit more.
We have more important matters. This is a conversation for later.
Gambling George. It really is the apocalypse.
What would we do without your ability to lighten the room?
We'll share more after we've taken the tower.
And kind of puts on the locket.
I mean,
Does she still bake those strawberry tarts?
Somehow they've only gotten better. I don't know how.
That's what kept me going all these years. The thought of those tarts.
Wait, you're married to the one that brought us tarts?
Rose. That is my wife indeed.
Oh, it's like clicking. Connection.
She's a lovely woman. She's helped us a lot. She's doing her best to do good in Newtown.
I'm not surprised. Well, if she made it, then I know this world at least has good strawberry tarts.
That's a fact.
Suddenly I want a strawberry tart.
Yeah.
Right?
Bring up my house. Are we ready? I'm gonna activate my rights before we go through the door.
Okay.
I want to point out that for the first time, Damon actually looks visibly nervous.
Oh, good.
I pull out a bottle.
How could you?
Oh.
I pull out a bottle that looks like it has a little cloud of lightning in it. I brewed up something special for this occasion.
is that quiet though?
Oh no, it's very loud.
If we're allowed to be loud, then I can help.
No.
This is when it's time to be loud, we're gonna be loud.
How much longer does this work for?
Pulls out the crossbow with the small bomb attached to the end of it.
Right, so about that. As long as I can maintenance that every day or so, it'll be fine, but don't touch it if I haven't. It's probably fine, but
Was that a bomb on a crossbow? Classic goblin.
It's quite inventive.
Must have seen hundreds of those. Killed many of my men.
It worked really well.
Glowing endorsement from Sir Gingerly.
That it did. That it did. You would have gotten us one time if it hadn't been for my nearsightedness. That's a whole story. Does anyone want to hear it?
I think we're good.
Yes.
Thanks.
Maybe after the tower.
I like it.
Damon, you look nervous.
I'm fine.
You should tell us if there's something
I'm
that
fine. Can we just go?
It's not about
Let's
you.
just go.
What kind of danger are we in? Do
I
you
don't know. I don't know this
Well, then why
tower.
do you
Can
look
we
nervous?
just
You never
go?
look
Hey, I think he
nervous.
needs some liquid courage. Got any
No, that's a bad idea.
Do you know what
He relies on his aim, and if he doesn't have his aim, he's
You can't
Well-
just bottle up your feelings.
Can we go? I don't want to hear nothing from you. You stay quiet.
That's really not an option.
Open the door, someone. Vaughn, open it.
Your
Vaughn,
Majesty.
press the
where
door,
there's
you
something
get
in
it,
there.
unlocked,
Shadow powers, it's gonna kill me.
and it slips open. It slips open. And just as you're doing it, this huge hulking guy is walking right by the opening and just stops and stares at you. Just this burly, heavy-set individual. He's wearing some rather nasty-looking armor. Got a maul, interestingly enough, sitting across his back at this moment. Just stares into the room like, oh?
Oh, sorry, wrong door.
Bingo!
At this point, you see, when it happens, you actually feel him rush through your body, which your entire blood just turns ice cold as he passes through you and slams into the other guy. I mean, you can visibly see the force that he strikes him with, and the guy staggers back, and his eyes kind of roll around opposite directions independently, and he shivers and shakes for a moment. He's like, and then slumps in a standing position, and then stands back up again.
Oi. All right. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh. All right. Just had to warm the vocal cords back up.
And Ginger's voice is now coming from inside of this man's body. From the stairwell, you hear voices come down like, "Hey, Eric, you coming up?"
Ooh. My apologies.
Eric!
Right, yeah. I'm sorry I was taking a whiz. Yeah, I'm coming up. Hold on real quick.
And
Alright.
interestingly enough, the smell in the room smells like he's probably not the first person that has taken a whiz here in the stairwell.
Rolls down.
Well, not in the stairwell itself, but like the entry point for the stairs as they go up. So you hear the footsteps heading back upstairs as well. You smell in the air aside from the obvious smell that kind of stinks in here as well. But food, somebody must have either come down to grab something or is bringing something up. Maybe the cooks are doing that at this point. You don't know what has transpired in the time that you all took to walk back here and then have your discussion about what you saw. So, what are we doing at this point? The only person sitting outside of the hidden entrance is Sir Gendron in his new body.
I want to stealth.
All right, where are we heading?
Seems the play.
Where did we
Go with the
pay this
gods.
again? Where did we tell him to hide?
You'll pick.
That's a great question. Where did we tell Pavis to hide?
Because we should go there first, and then leave.
I believe we'd given our best instructions to Pavis to attempt to act as normal, as if nothing had happened whatsoever. So it's possible if they have a rotation or some place that they were expected to make watch. I don't think they're waiting anywhere in particular.
Well, he came out when we were at the front door. He came from the left door, right? Maybe he's that direction.
We check and clear the bottom first, and we make our way up.
I can try to send him a message.
Oh, good idea.
It can't go through a stone wall, but it can go around corners. So I don't have to see him because I've spoken with him before. We'll give it a try. Hey, Pavis. Pavis, can you hear me?
Maybe we should open that door and pop in there and do it again. You're not trying to scare him.
I'm sorry, you learn how to do magic and then you do it.
If I could, I would do it better than that.
They don't teach you this in the monastery.
Unfortunately, you're not getting anything as you do it.
Do you know what a monastery is? Just like usually it's for monks. It was just a point. It's fine though.
The monastery is one stary, right?
Yeah, a single stary.
I know, Anna,
Yeah.
I know quite a lot about monasteries.
Do you? Interesting, Allie. I'd love to hear more later, but you had
I
stuff to
really need you to not call me that.
Of course.
But yes, that is, as I said, a story for another day. We will continue the tales of the Reverend Goodberry when we are not being pursued by brigands. He's either not here, he followed our instructions and left, or he's too far away.
So we move.
I assume this tower is not 12 stories tall.
The tower itself is about 200 feet tall.
Oh boy.
It could be at the top of the tower.
Then maybe we should leave. And come back for him.
We gave him. What do you think?
Well, we have to come back anyway. They have no reason to kill him in between. If we rush over, beat up the collector, an hour, come back. I don't like it, but what choice do we have? We're not gonna run up there looking for him. What, so we can all die? As far as I'm concerned, he's on his own for a little bit.
Really, Echo? Is that where you come down on that?
What are we supposed to do about it?
A child? Like a lone
Yeah.
child?
If he dies, I will feel a pit of regret and responsibility for the rest of my life. But at least I'll be alive. And he might be too. If we go there and find him now, we can't take on 38 guys.
We must not be cowards. It is better to die a hero than live a coward.
No.
And besides, we can take on 38 guys.
I'm with Echo. I think we should leave.
Children, do you truly believe that we can take this tower with the force that we have?
You're asking the dead man.
I'm gonna
I
pray to
am
the one
asking
God and ask
Sir
for
Ginger.
wisdom.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
I feel sorry for you for
I think if we play it carefully, we can.
What? Let's see.
If we lure them outside, they would lose some of their advantage.
Didn't you have a inspiration token?
I think I spent the inspiration already. Didn't I?
I don't remember.
If you want to spend some time in communion,
Yeah, I do.
I can guarantee you an answer on that. But if you're just doing a short prayer, that's what takes more of the rolls.
Would anybody mind? I feel like I can get an answer, but I need a few minutes.
My schedule's open.
I love it. Okay, I'm gonna vote yes. So, where's
you should go back in.
back in?
the tunnel then.
Back in the tunnel. Okay.
Everybody goes back in, closes the secret door. You head back down to the base of the stairwell and actually proceed to enter into your prayer. It actually takes her about 45 minutes to an hour doing this. But as you are praying, you do hear something in the back of your head as you're doing this that says that you may, if you are looking to take the tower, as you're saying on there, it does not mean that you have to kill everyone in the tower, is the inspiration that you get on that. Remember that just simply arbitrarily murdering everybody is not the way to go. That's the path that you're looking for, particularly in the role that you fulfill within your religion there.
Mm-hmm. And Pavis,
You do feel that Pavis's life is in danger.
okay. I think that we can do this strategically and without murdering everyone. I think we should make Pavis and the other children a priority. It seems vital that if we don't rescue them now, that maybe we won't have time. This is our chance. but I don't think that we need to go in guns blazing. I think maybe with the help of our new friend and maybe some disguises, maybe we can come up with a plan to get them out without so much bloodshed.
What happens when you leave that body?
Oh, he'll be disoriented for a bit. One way I could help, I could frighten as many of them away as I can. Brigands are a superstitious lot. Scary ghosts make them run. I know this from experience.
What if we could isolate them to a particular area and then, like, block a door, lock them in somewhere?
I can make a loud noise outside, draw some of them out there, and then we can scare off the ones
Reverend may be able to
left.
assist in this regard to some capacity as well.
Yeah, we can lock them all in a room, and I can, and I pull out that bottle of thunder, and I can toss this in there.
How do you know
What does that do exactly?
They won't enjoy it.
Well, I didn't think so.
How do you know they're in immediate danger? Is Pavis gonna make a mistake? Is that the feeling you got?
I don't know what Pavis is going to do. I just felt that he was in danger. And I fear that if we were to leave and come back, maybe his time would run out.
We gotta go then.
But I agree, I think we can be smart about this. Get them out to the tower as you've suggested.
Yes, in my current guise, perhaps I could trick them into leaving before I attempt to smash their heads in.
Love it. Okay.
When it's time to smash heads, we'll let you know.
Yes, sir.
Damon, what are your thoughts on this? I can sense your hesitation.
If we have a plan, I'm in. I just don't want to go on a suicide mission. Doesn't make any sense to me. But it doesn't sound like it is anymore.
Damon?
What does it matter? With whatever I say, it's going to be combated with. I think we should leave. I don't care about the kid. I don't. We have more important matters to deal with, and it's that locket and getting out of here as fast as we can. I don't want to deal with these people, okay? I think we should just go.
Damon, if we get the locket,
Is
we
he
have to
scared?
come back here anyway.
That would be an insight check that you would have to make.
Oh, I've been doing that.
And
That's a 2, so.
You don't know.
Well, it's plus, so it's a 5.
You don't know.
Skeech is right, though. We're dealing with these people one way or another. It's just whether we want to save Pavis or not. I thought originally that we would have enough time to come back before he got hurt. But if what you're saying is true, we don't. So either way, we're dealing with these people. It's just whether we want to try and do the right thing.
An hour later.
Let me see if I can clear the tower first. I had an idea.
I like ideas.
All right, well, I think I'm going to walk up to where everyone was lounging around.
are you gonna walk out to the dining room? where you saw them?
Yeah.
Okay. You head back out there. There's now only 2 people left in that particular room.
Oi, where'd everyone go?
They're upstairs.
Alright, well, spread the word. We're clearing out the place. Spiders down there, they're gonna cast a cloud kill. So we gotta leave.
Are you daft?
Hey, what'd you say to me?
Are you daft? That's what I said. That was Jared. He's drunk again. We don't even know where he ran off to.
Oh, he's dead. He's been eating the spiders right now. He weren't lying.
How do you open the door? The door's locked.
Aye. You're the daft one. The door's easy to open. There's a little button you push. Clickety click. Open door.
No, it's lockety lock, like lock on the door.
If you don't stop arguing with me right now, I'm gonna bash your bleeding skull in.
Well, you can go talk to Theon. How about that?
Theon? That Theon? Theon, of course, yeah.
Yeah, Theon.
Right. Theon.
Yeah. Are you
Hi.
all right?
If you ever talk to me like that, you know what? I'm gonna punch you.
Roll the strike.
12 years he's been waiting for this.
Yes. All right.
Is it like
let's
this?
see. Yeah, that's right. Okay. That is only a 10 to hit.
A 10 to hit.
Yeah.
As you swing at him, maybe the fact this is just a brand new body, you just right in front of his face, and the gentleman that you were speaking to and his partner leap back up from the table there. They both pull out their daggers. They're looking at you, and they're like,
That was a warning shot. Don't sass me no more.
They both are kind of backing up right now, looking at you like you're from another planet at this moment.
Alright, well, if you want to stay here when they cast the cloud kill, be my guest. I'm getting out of here.
And you head off, and they're looking at each other like, who cares? That's magics. Nobody gets magics. And out of the room you walk.
Can I roll a deception?
Absolutely, you can give it a deception on that. What are you trying to deceive with?
I'm trying to make them think that this place is going to get fumigated for spiders, and they probably need to leave.
Go ahead.
I rolled a 7.
He's been drinking.
They are definitely having that conversation like you are trashed. Oh, he's just an idiot. You know, he's drunk. Oh, he's a drunk idiot.
Oh, I gotta take another piss.
I'm going to run back down to the...
So that was on the same level that you were at. The next level up is where those guys were walking.
I'm going back down, actually.
Okay, so you had the room that I described before that was on that same floor that you were on. That's where those guys were in the room before that you had seen. You had not gone up yet.
No. I want to go back down to the party because I considered this mission a failure.
Oh, you're gonna go back to the I understand. Well, we are going to jump into our break of the evening here, and we'll be back to discuss the merits of drunken fumigation, I guess, and we'll see you here very shortly then.
All under control. I bet he's
We
got it.
got it.
Tried subtly.
You're
You're gonna go, Hanzo next.
He's not used to subterfuge. He's a very
Your
straightforward
arms
person.
used to be longer.
Yeah, they used to be, yeah.
That's a lot
Not
of
used to the
bunk
body
bed.
yet. Still working
And
out.
you're still learning how to drive. All right, and welcome back from the break there. Hopefully you enjoyed their B-roll. And as we had last left off, the party was contemplating on exactly what to do. So let's go ahead and pick up right where we left off. Sir Gendron, you had just swung and missed, and the gentlemen were very concerned about the fact that you might be drunk and an idiot. You decided it was mission 0 on that and headed back to inform your party that things didn't quite go the way you expected.
I think it's probably going to be a while before it comes back, so we might as well just sit here and get comfortable.
Most likely correct. It's quite thorough in everything that Sir Gendron does.
I should probably look at that bolt, by the way.
Oh, the maintenance you were speaking of. Yes.
Yeah, you're just gonna.
Yeah.
If you drop these things, it's really just a problem.
No pressure.
Good. Good. I'm glad we're doing this in a very tight sort of tunnel.
I got shoulder room.
Yeah.
The Reverend starts taking that lightning bottle he had, like.
No, it's fine.
Hilarious.
Now, a really cool DM would have been like, okay, acrobatics check. That'd be sleight of hand. I'm not very sure, but anyway.
Let's not test
So,
things, shall we?
Sir Gendron reappears. Well, doesn't reappear, but steps back into the secret entrance.
So I haven't talked to anyone in 12 years. It did not go very well. So far they just think I'm a drunk imbecile. I did learn something, that they're associated with someone named Theot. I knew this Theot back in the day, the Guards Watch commander. A cruel captain, bully, coward, mistreated his men harshly. He got caught using his position to extort favors and worse things. He was actually going to stand trial the day that Granitegard fell. I'm surprised and displeased he escaped.
We heard that he's thrown in with the Grey. So who do we think is at the top of this tower? Is Theot here?
Not sure. I didn't make it very far.
We'll work on your people skills.
It's been a while.
Is there an opportunity for us to change our approach? You attempted to logic and reason with them, but is there a way for you to use some of your current gifts to maybe scare them from the tower?
Yes, I can walk back up, pop out of this body, take on a spectral visage.
That might just do it.
Yes.
It's time
That
to
might
get
work.
spooky.
All right.
It's Halloween.
I'm going to go spook. All right. So I'm going.
Can I give him inspiration?
No. You could try.
Try it.
All right. Well, you've been inspired by the River Goodberries. Whatever you want to do, go with the one God.
I am honored to receive the blessing of a holy man.
I take out my alms box and I just start waving over him. Did you want to roll religion to see if I'm doing it right? Sure.
Sure. I don't know. I think the roll of Mary's eyes says it all right there.
She doesn't
I'm
care.
sure he's so blessed now.
That is 21 from Skeech.
Like
Looks good.
What?
You know, here's the holy water too, just a little splash there.
I'm glad that didn't banish me or something.
There's a little bit of a smudge in the dirt that's going to now wash slightly off the body.
It's not holy water.
No, really? I'm shocked.
All right. So I'm gonna.
Step back out.
Yeah, I'm gonna run back up.
This thing hasn't been open in 12 years, and in one day it's been open like 4 or 5 times already. It's been open and closed.
It's like Scooby-Doo.
Revolving door.
I'm going to say,
Oi! Look at this.
and then
Hold on. Okay. Are you going back to the room with the two guys? Where the
Yes,
two guys
yes,
were?
yes.
Okay.
Wow,
You
here,
go back
watch
to the room
this.
with the two guys, and they're not there.
Oh.
You do hear voices coming from the kitchen,
Okay.
And it sounds like some pots clattering around, things like that over that direction.
I'm gonna kind of walk over and peek in.
There are two cooks in the kitchen, and they're arguing back and forth about various spices and things along those lines as far as the recipe goes. One of them feels they put too many spices in there. The other one says they didn't put enough spices in there. One of them says they cooked it way too long. No, they didn't cook it long enough. And they're in the middle of washing up from, looks like, making dinner for everybody. And that's the only people you see currently around on the lower level at this point.
Are they the same two people as last time?
They are not the same two people. Those other people you saw were in like the dining room.
Mm-hmm.
They are actually in the kitchen, which is right next to where that would be.
Okay.
The kitchen itself is packed with all kinds of utensils and pots and pans and herbs and food, like overstocked utensils, like in lots of different sets. Some very fancily decorated ones, some not so fancy looking ones, some utilitarian, just tons, like an overstock.
Do I see any pastries?
Yes.
I'm gonna grab one.
All right, you grab yourself a nice fat cream roll.
I'm gonna eat it.
It is wonderful.
Ah.
You haven't had food in forever, so it might even taste terrible, but it's wonderful to you.
Great.
Oh, you like it?
Oh, yeah.
Not too much sugar?
No, it's perfect.
Oh, he wouldn't know anyway. He's an idiot. I've seen him eat a rat before without it being cooked.
Oi. Why's everyone so mean to me
Hey, well, I'm just gonna continue up then. I don't think I need to bother with the cooks.
You keep on eating the cream roll as you go up?
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going up to see who's where.
All right, up onto the second floor, where you step out into the room through as the stairwell comes up, there's an opening with a door. You push that open. This room here looks at one point or another must have been some sort of quarters for the troops. Now it has kind of been stripped down. There are bedrolls and stuff all over the floor, and there are about 15 guys here in the room. And they're drinking, and they're eating, and they're laughing, and they're being a bunch of rude rogues. And they'll see you like, hey, you gonna fumigate us?
Actually, I've got another surprise up my sleeve.
He's got another surprise. What you got?
At that moment, Sir Gendron's going to pop out of him, above them, and I'm going to use my horrifying visage, which to these brigands would seem like a sort of deliverer of justice, like a knight in shining armor coming out of the past to punish them.
Oh my.
And they're going to need to make a DC 15 wisdom saving throw, or else they're going to be frightened.
Okay, well the first die doesn't look all that terribly exciting and good.
These guys are very wise.
All right, with the horrifying visage on that, I believe it causes them to flee up to X feet away or something along those lines?
Yes, that'll be fit. They just have to use their movement to run away from me, is basically.
So, big double movement or is it just 30 feet?
It doesn't really say. I'll say this your call.
Well, at this point, we're just going to take it and run with it. So,
Okay.
haha. You pop out of the man's body into this horrifying visage of righteous justice, this holy-looking warrior ghost thing. And they're like, oh! They begin to freak out, screaming about the one God has come to judge them. And it looks like Keystone Cops at this point. They're banging, smashing into each other. Yeah, basically trying to get out every which way but loose. Most of them flee down the stairs. A couple of them flee up the stairs. And in moments, the room is empty except for the kind of lolling, staggering body that you have just stepped out of. Down where you all are, you could hear screams of absolute bloody terror coming down the stairs into the room that you're in for a few moments, and then getting further and further away.
I think it's working.
Oh no, I think he's killing them.
Is that our signal? Should we go or?
We can
It definitely wasn't quiet, so.
go kind of peek our heads out a little bit.
Yeah, it is dusty in here. We should leave. I'll peek open the door and see if we can see anything.
Okay, Echo kind of shoulders past, and, excuse me, pardon me, and gets up to the front, presses the button to the secret door, which once again slides open. Out into the empty base of the stairs or stairwell is where you're sitting right now, and there doesn't appear to be anybody down here.
Do I hear footsteps coming down?
Nope, no more footsteps coming down. You can see that both of the doors that lead out of this room are wide open.
Okay. Let's go.
Go up. Or down.
I think we're going up, right? We're looking for Pavis.
Alright, let's go.
Up you go.
Yep. Stealthily. Stealthily.
If you're leading, then I'm gonna touch you and give you the blessing on stealth checks.
Okay. Yeah, I am just going to do my best as we stealthily go up the stairs to listen for any sounds of like children's voices or other voices that would endanger us.
Every so often, I'm gonna try casting Whisper to talk to Pavis and see if he answers.
Okay. Go ahead and make your stealth check.
That'll be a 16.
16. Up the stairs you creep. You are the lead, you and the wolf. As you're moving up the stairwell, come to the first level where you see Sir Gendron. Have you gone back into the body?
I've repossessed the body.
Okay,
yes.
retaken the body. And Sir Gendron is just kind of standing there waiting for you like, oh, hello, as you enter the room. And on this level here, you can see again where it had been turned into a kind of a makeshift quarters. The room now looks to be empty. There are lots of personal effects around the room, lots of empty alcohol bottles and that sort of thing. Bless you. And
One guy.
I'm so blessed.
yes. And again, it's relatively empty, except what you see with Sir Gendron. The stairwell does continue further up, and you can tell just by the structure there would be at least one more. Again, when you looked and saw the tower, there are windows at various levels. There are at least 2 more floors above you at this point.
How many fled? Did they all flee?
I count about 15 of them that fled.
Down.
Yes, a couple went up.
A couple? How many?
2.
2? We can take 2.
Take two.
Did you see any of the kids anywhere? We can't find them.
Unfortunately, no, I didn't see any.
Well, up it is then, right?
Are there any, like, letters at all in this room?
Oh, I don't know. I would suggest maybe searching the room.
19.
19. Searching through personal effects and that sort of thing, you don't find any letters because there doesn't appear to be a whole lot of literate people here in the tower. You find some sketchings that are some naughty drawings that were in some people's personal effects, things along those lines, but that's about it. There are a couple of books, but they're pretty much picture books.
Can I search for some weapons?
Absolutely. If you're gonna, okay, yep, go ahead.
That's a natural one.
Natural 1.
Well, unnatural.
Unnatural 1. Oh, okay. Wow, that must be one of your really good skills there.
Yeah, it's a great. Yep.
Unfortunately, you uncover some things that you don't want to mention to anybody else in the group and quickly put things back over the top of them, and you're like, let's not talk about this.
Okay.
Is there anything else you all are doing at this moment?
No sign of Pavis?
He hasn't answered. He might be.
Why would he be up though?
It's a possibility that he could be captured. Mary says he's in trouble. If he's gagged, he won't be able to answer.
Then we better go quick. So when we get there though, how quiet can we be if it's only one door?
Just gonna have to suss it out when we get there.
Okay, let's go. And I'll continue the stealth train up the stairs. Now with a ghost.
I want to be like uncharacteristically like near the front of the order.
I just keep looking at you as we're like walking out, just like not used to you being there.
And I will be at the back.
Ooh.
I've got a
shaking
rapier.
things up at this
I
point.
have my rapier in one hand, and in my other hand I've got one of my holy symbols.
One of them, yes. I will be behind Reverend.
One of the many holy symbols.
Yes, you're so devout.
Can I interest you in buying one?
How about you know your audience?
I'm gonna look at my
It's cold.
holy symbol that I was given by the Reverend for bravery.
Say, Reverend, what is your faith?
Yes.
Whatever suits him in the moment.
I spread the word of the one God
So he sits.
in this region.
Wow.
I'm starting to put things together.
Oh, yes. I'll help you.
Okay, so driving forward. Eka, what was your stealth roll again?
Slightly better, 17.
All right. Up the stairs you trek, and you get to the third level of the tower as it goes up. And looking inside this particular room, you do not see anybody outside of the door as you peek through the little barred opening on that.
It's empty.
As far as you can tell, you actually have to exit the stairwell to really determine that.
I don't see anyone. Do we want to check out this room or keep going? Could be
Peek
hiding.
in.
Yeah. We could have Jindra.
Oh, good idea.
Inspect the space.
All right. Hold this body while I go.
Trust fall.
Perhaps a gag would be in order.
And out Gidrin pops. Passing through the door or the wall is not that terribly difficult for you, and out into the level you go. This level here is a prison, or a holding cell area, to be more precise. And looking through the cells, they all are currently empty.
Oh, okay.
What you can tell is that the cells have been altered since obviously the original construction, and more manacles have been placed in the cells to hold more than they were typically designed to hold at points.
Can I tell if they were recently occupied?
I would say make an investigation on that.
Sure. All right, dice, come on. Aye. That is going to be. Here, let me check my investigation real quick.
You're
Oh, I have a
inspired.
+0. So that is going to be, I'll use the inspiration here. So that's going to be an 11 total.
Wow, a high roll on that. They have been used frequently. Is about the best way I can describe that to you. You can't really tell when the last time they had been used, but there's enough wear on these things that you can tell they have certainly seen quite a bit of use.
Okay. I'm going to go back down, repossess my guy, and report that to the party.
Okay, just as the guy begins to flutter back into reality, he's like,
Go to sleep.
again, and back to Gindrin's possession.
Poor guy.
No, this can't be good for him.
One eye looks a little bloodshot on the guy.
So what's the situation?
Empty cells above, dungeons. Frequently used. I can't tell when they were last occupied.
See any
No children?
No children. No one there.
nobody up there?
No, not that I could see.
Thank you.
Carry on.
One more to go. Still stealthing?
Oh, yeah.
Better. 21.
Just gets better every.
Yeah.
Keep rolling.
37.
Well,
You forgot to do.
up you go to the final floor, and
37.
you get to the top of the tower. At this point, you can feel that you are very far up. This has got to be that piece that you saw way from a distance where you saw a little bit of light coming through and a little bit of smoke coming out of the top. Up here you can hear the winds, even though you're definitely within the building itself. There are definitely high winds at this point from the storm outside. And there are tons of boxes that you can see through the little opening in this room. Lots and lots and lots of crates and such. And there are oil lamps placed at various places within the top floor of here.
But no sign of people?
No sign of people that you can see out of the opening.
It's probably fine.
I just whispered, there's a ton of boxes and lamps, but I don't see anyone. But this is the only place left they could go.
Where were the lamps positioned?
Where were the lamps positioned? Just on top of the boxes?
The boxes are in various stacks, some tall, some short, maybe one or two boxes high in one area. Some of them are stacked multiple boxes tall, just creating a wall, and the lamps are just kind of helter-skelter.
Just all over the place, randomly.
Do we think that darkness would be to our advantage? Shadow,
Potentially. But I believe you had shared earlier that that is possibly a threat to us as well.
make those lamps go away.
No. Don't turn off the lights. Make sure that they stay on.
All right, I will.
Is the door locked to this room?
You haven't tried it.
Or is it a push?
It is a push. You're like,
One of those pocket doors.
It's not opening. Oh, there we go.
The barn doors.
Yes, as you start to push on it, it does feel like it can move relatively freely.
Okay. I'm just like watching the people behind me as I'm slowly opening the door, trying to make eye contact with everyone, see how ready everyone looks. Just kind of linger on Damon for a second, and then open it, and
Door swings open freely, and no arrows strike you, no swords come swinging at your head. In front of you appears to be a wall of boxes, and it's very, very quiet up here. You can again hear the creaking of the building as it kind of sways a tad bit in the winds.
I'll just slide in, take cover behind the big first stack of boxes, and just wait for everyone else to move in.
Mary, where do you keep your light orb on your person?
I guess just like in a pouch.
Hooked on your belt, I thought she had it.
Yeah, I have like a pouch on a
Am I able
Why?
to take that?
You can certainly rip it off the belt
Okay.
pouch.
I'm gonna rip it off your belt.
Hello.
Can I turn it on and like toss it into the room?
Absolutely. Clink, 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 clink. It goes scattering to the room.
It's on, so
It's on, it creates a globe of 20-foot illumination, partially blocked by some of the boxes, but the area directly in front of where you would step out is very well illuminated at this point.
Are there any of these oil lamps that are not lit?
The oil lamps are all lit,
Okay.
and each one of them creates a globe of about 10 feet or so of bright light, a little bit of dim light past that. There are pools of shadow all over the place, but it's also very easy to see around.
Uh-huh.
Yes, there are shadows, but again, it is still light enough that you're not going to suffer any negatives if you go to swing swords and things along those lines.
can I roll a perception on those shadows?
You are more than welcome to. Echo, you would need to perform a stealth to move over for where you're looking to go.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
Did not get better with every roll.
Go back.
11.
Because we said
Okay.
something.
As
You
Echo
acknowledge
is moving forward and you're looking to perceive in the shadows, just as Echo slides up to the edge of the box, you go, oh, and you can see, Echo, as you step out, as you start to come around the edge, there's a guy with 2 handheld crossbows pointing them right at you. And he's like,
Okay, I'll be quiet.
tell your friends to come in.
I will turn back to the door. Can I see the door from here?
Yes.
And I'll go. He said to come in. I mean, no one said that.
So he said that really loud.
Who rushes first?
I'd like to incite that.
I rolled a natural 1 to lie.
Seven.
7. As Steve starts putting the pieces together, you can kind of see the tick, tick, tick. What do I know about humans? This voice.
I think he's under duress.
His voice echoes from somewhere back behind one of the bosses. You can come on out now. All of you, out of the stairwell. Well, let's get this going.
Would I be able to... Where are the oil lamps, exactly?
They would be on points on the boxes. I can't actually point them all out directly, so I will try to illuminate some of that from where I sit here. So, like there, and on the edge over here, there's one up on a box over here, one sitting on a box right there.
Are there...
Like, all around the room.
Are there shadows where I can avoid the light of those?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna...
If I see what he's doing, then there's one that's like within range of us that I can see, and I snuff it.
You're gonna snuff the light?
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna clap so that the orb goes off.
All right.
And then... Let me get my paper out here. I'm gonna...
As this is like happening, I come out and I say, now, there's no need to point your crossbows at us. You can put those down.
I'm going to slip into the shadows. And I would like to, as quickly as I can, to survey the room to see where everybody else is.
Okay. Make a perception.
That's a 9.
9? All right. As you slip into the shadows and begin to move through your shadow form, again, that world takes on that very strange visage. You see that there are just tons of men behind these boxes. Wherever you're looking, there are at least 20 people that you're aware of. But in particular, there is a guy in a full suit of plate with a huge shield, and it bears this unmistakable crest on it that you recognize straight up. And it is the symbol of the way on the shield. And as he's standing there, he looks over your direction. His helmet kind of tilts that way, right where you're in the shadows. And about that time, the shadow form ends, and you're out there.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Well. Look at what we got here. And what you doing here, little boy? You thinking you're going to cross the way?
I'm gonna just start backing up a little bit.
What are the rest of you doing? Damon is definitely in a position where he is in trouble. You've got Echo in a position where he's in trouble at the moment. And the Reverend is the one closest to the door looking out into the room.
Chandra, the big one. Take him.
On it. All right.
Let's gotta go out there and make as much chaos as we can.
Yeah, Sir Gendron, it's not even his own body.
It's definitely not his own body. That's
It's
a rental.
He doesn't care what happens to it.
Drive it like you stole it. Drive it like you stole it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna unsheath my maul.
You're kind of muscling past everybody and stepping out of the
Yes.
stairwell there.
Do I recognize the?
You recognize the
fellow
armor.
plate?
It is
Yes.
definitely armor that the guardsmen would have worn from Granitegard. It is in excellent condition. It has obviously been spiced up a little bit here and there. The symbol sitting on the front of the shield is unrecognizable. You don't have any idea what that symbol happens to mean on there. But he still has the pauldrons that would identify him as a guard's captain.
Do I recognize his face?
It's in a helmet. You would have to remove the helmet to look at the face.
Gladly.
Inside his body.
Alright. Well, I'm just gonna unsheath my maul. I think Sir Gendron's very straightforward, and I'm gonna start swinging.
Okay, so as you step out of the and come around to the edge, that's where you can look over to see where he is. He's about 30 feet from you at this point.
Okay.
Combat has not started, and there are quite a number of men between here and there.
Okay.
So if you're going to engage, you will have to move the 30 feet to close the gap on him.
Okay.
So that's, I mean, if you're all looking to enter the combat at this moment, engage
Oh,
and
yeah.
go.
I want you to possess him.
Oh.
I want to point out, Damon looks terrified.
Yeah. Damon is barely holding it together as what you're assuming is Captain Theot is standing before him. And you can tell that there are people with bows pointing at Damon at this moment.
Okay.
So, well, there's one of you, you traitor. We'll deal with you. The rest of you come out. Bunch of muppets running around acting like you're something fierce, thinking you can tangle with the Queen of Blades.
Can Von make it to where Damon is, or is Damon too far away?
You would have to come out and around again. From where you are, it would be about 40 feet for you because you're inside the stairwell, and 30 feet around to where Damon is by Captain Theot. So, big guy is standing there, prepped and ready. Yes.
I would like to cast Calm Emotions on Damon.
Ooh. Go ahead. At this point, I'm assuming that Damon, we would begin to get the jitters shaken off of you. The wave of just pure calming energy passes over Damon. You can actually feel like this hand touching you on the shoulder in a very calming manner as it just rests on there. It's very reassuring. Almost conjures memories of your brother when you were scared as a child. And you begin to that fear begins to kind of step aside.
Drop, Damon lore.
So,
It's a shiny Pokemon right there.
and at this point, Theot cocks his head because he can see the fear is
Family
stepping out of you. Oh, thinking about stepping in some big boy pants there? I'll give you the first shot.
I'm gonna take out two of my daggers.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see any of these guys from where I am?
Absolutely, you can see from where you are. Now that they've kind of risen up from some of their hidden locations. There are about 7 guys that you can see in here.
7?
About 7 guys.
Okay.
I tell you what, why don't you show me the little present we got for him? And from the set of boxes
Man.
off to this side right over here, this burly looking fellow steps by with a small little individual tied up and gagged. He's got a dagger sitting on his throat. So, we found your little friend trying to escape. He talks a whole lot when you take a finger. And you can see, looking at his hand, that
Put the bottle
he's missing a
back in my
pinky.
pocket.
Drop your weapons, come on out.
Put my rapier in my...
Sheath your rapier.
Don't do it. He can only shoot me twice. I'll survive it.
I'm gonna start kind of gingerly walking towards him.
All right, now listen. I can explain. I've fallen off the wagon recently. I didn't know who these folks was.
And I'm gonna be inching towards the guy who has his throat, who has the dagger to the kid's throat.
Okay, so you're now moving away from Theot towards the guy with the kid.
I've sheathed them all. I have my hands up like this.
Okay.
I'm slowly approaching.
I'm sober now. If you'll have me back into the fold, I can help you mess these guys up.
And as I'm saying this, I'm trying to get as close as I can to the guy.
All right, go ahead and give me a deception, please.
Oh, gosh. All right.
No whammy, no
Don't
whammy, no
fail me
whammy.
again. That is an 18.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, plus 4, so 22.
So the guy with the dagger is holding it to Pavis's neck there, and he's looking at you, and he's like, okay. Now he looks over towards Theot, and Theot's like, you an idiot.
Right.
Now, go over and take. Which one is? Hold on here. You with the dog. Get that one with the dog. Tie him up. And where's the? Where's your cleric girl?
I whisper.
She stayed home.
The rest of them can see into the stairwell there and see the party. You can try to see it if you would like.
Yeah. Natural 20.
Are you serious? Okay. The guy, he delivers it with all conviction. Oh, she stayed home. And a couple guys with the stairs are looking at each other like, I don't know really which one that person is. And Thea is not buying it whatsoever. They don't go anywhere by themselves.
All right, the Reverend pulls out this bottle that's got. They say you can't keep Latin in a bottle. And I chuck it right at that group of 7 guys. This is gonna be a 10-foot radius sphere.
Oh boy.
Before that happens, or while it's happening, the reason I got close to that guy, I want to jump out of this body into the body of the person holding the kid hostage.
Oh my. Okay. This is going to basically activate combat at this point.
Oh yeah, for good. It's gonna activate a lot of stuff. Like
so,
burning oil.
Reverend, go ahead. And what is the situation that you create?
Everyone that's hit by that has to make a con save.
Am I in that radius?
The direction he would have probably thrown that, where he is right over here. You were heading over to that box set over there. I believe I got that.
Can I be, when Vaughn moved up, I want to have followed.
Yeah. So the two of you are just outside of the door?
Mm-hmm. Right there with the Rev.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, so
I want to be in the door frame.
All right. So, what happens now?
Did they fail their save?
Yes.
They're all going to take 6 thunder damage. It makes an incredibly loud sound. I was also also to use that to topple any boxes down onto them, because it does extra damage to inanimate objects.
Heck yes, heck yes.
Like wood and stone.
Jeff's got tactics.
All right.
Wood, stone, yeah, inorganic material, yep. Now, if only I had rolled better on actual damage.
All right. So you do manage to blast over some of the boxes and topple a chunk of the debris over there. They are hit by the thunder damage and look pretty beat up. The shrapnel from the wood, you got all kinds of splinters, and they're howling at this point. Gendron, at this point, is shooting out and trying to possess the body. Gendron, I believe there's a save on that possession.
Yes. The possession. My notes. There's actually not the notes on the possession here. But I believe it's probably the same as the horrifying visage. I believe it's probably a DC 15 wisdom
okay.
save.
So, as you shoot out of the body that you currently have, leaving you to kind of stagger and jump into the guy's body, he is just like hair turns white for a moment as this ghostly form leaps out and into his body. He does a little shake for a moment, and then the blade drops to the ground, and you have another body. This one does not quite have the same stats as your prior body, but you've got control over it.
Okay. If it's my turn, I'd like to
At this point, we're going to roll for initiative.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Great.
Combat is now begun.
Please, once I would like to roll well for initiative.
Oh my gosh.
No, I didn't.
Me neither.
So,
Not bad.
we are
Me
going to
too.
start with 25 to 21. Any takers? Nope. All right. We're going to go from 20 to 16.
20.
20.
Cool.
So Echo and Sky.
How hurt did those guys look that got hit by my
They look very sad.
thunderstruck?
They look very sad. Those guys will be the ones up over there. These guys in this group over here is where he would have hit.
Oh, so just the 3 of those guys.
Yeah.
The box.
It is a room full of wood.
It's the boxes in front of them because they're probably hit.
We're
We're just going to leave right where they are. That's fine. All right, so we so we did 16 to 20. Nobody else? Okay.
Oh no.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yep.
So,
It's the best.
so we're gonna go 11 to 15.
14.
I have
13.
a 12.
We have a 12. So we have Damon, we have Mary,
Also a 13.
also 13. Mary, what is your dex?
My dex is 10.
Gendron?
14.
Okay, so we're gonna do Gendron, then Mary.
Look at that ghost mini.
I believe then
They're all in
Skeech.
nice jail now.
And then who we have Anna and Vaughn, I believe, are our last two contestants.
I haven't.
Oh,
I've got 7.
7,
6.
10.
10. So Anna, Rev, and Vaughn was just waiting for a tactical analysis of the battlefield there, I'm assuming.
Apparently so.
Classic. Yep.
So yeah,
Doing math
just
in the
because
back.
just because you went last doesn't mean it's the worst. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's the best.
All right.
You'll be real
Fiat is going to be back towards this side, right back here, and that's where Daniel's also going to be.
That is the
First
treasure
is the
chest.
worst, second is the best.
Treasure
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the kinder one.
Adrian is going to be right over there.
Just gonna take him.
Distracting, yeah. Did you ever describe what these people look like?
Okay, Echo and Sky, what are the actions that you're going to take?
So I have my hands up, right?
Yes.
But because of the rules, I get to go first. So I'm just going
Exploitative
to.
mechanics.
As soon
Super
as
draw.
the explosion happens, I'm just one hand with the shield, the other with my sword, and I'm just dashing at this guy.
It is about 5 feet to cover the distance between you and him, I believe.
Oh yeah. Okay. And at the same time, he just does this sharp whistle, and Sky also is just bounding towards him.
Mhm.
So we're going to tag team him. And is there flanking or anything like that that I could do with our movement?
From where you are right there, I do believe that if one of you could get into a flanking position, you'd have to choose either or.
Okay, I'll get into it.
Closer spell, switching cantrips.
All right.
And
Sky is choosing the frontal, you're coming in from the side.
Mhm.
Roger that.
and I am going to attack him with my sword. Yeah. And I'll just do a normal attack.
You're not going to have Sky engage first?
That is a better idea, but I already rolled.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's what I'm asking, because you said you were tag teaming, so I wasn't sure what you were doing on that.
Oh, okay,
That's why I asked. Okay.
So I got a 20 with that.
20? That would beat the armor class.
Okay. And I'll roll damage for that. So that is full damage, so 12 slashing damage.
Ooh.
And Sky got a 18.
Ooh.
Which is 2d6.
Get him, Sky.
So that's 12 piercing damage, and he has to make a strength save. He needs to beat a 13.
He did not beat a 13. I believe he is knocked prone
He
from
is
that
knocked
attack.
prone, and now any attacks she makes against him will be criticals.
Excellent. All right. So, yeah, knock him down there. And
Only her attacks.
What was the total damage that you did to him?
I did 12 damage, and she did, I think, 9.
9 damage, 12 damage. All right.
No, sorry. I rolled a 4 and a 5, 9. So 12, so 24.
24 damage.
Yeah.
And Sky, as she rips in to him and begins to shake his leg to knock him down, it kind of comes off around the knee, and he falls over and screams for a few moments and then goes silent.
I kind of look back at Vaughn, and I just kind of clench my jaw. She was the vehicle of which the death.
Now you're grounded too.
That's
All
on
right.
me.
They cut a kid's pinky off. We can kill these guys.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and moving forward, it is Theod's action.
Oh no.
And
He skips.
oh, actually, unless you have any other things you're doing at this
Nope,
moment,
that's it.
okay. Theod looks over at Damon in front of him and rushes at Damon with his great sword, and he's not a great sword, but his long sword, and he is going to attempt to cleave Damon. And that is going to be a 16.
That hits.
16 hits. All right, you take 12 points of damage. And
Okay.
Blade passes across Damon's chest, and just his armor is just torn open at this point. Damon, you kind of stagger back, and just the wind is momentarily knocked out of you from the force of the blow, and then you could see the crimson begin to spill out from where that slice in your armor sits. And he is just laughing the whole time as he does this. And he's like, say goodbye. And now brings the sword back around for what looks like a killing blow. With a 13.
No.
Damon, as you start to stagger back, you hit a bit of your own blood, and it causes you to kind of slip a little bit as the blade swings over your head, almost gives you a haircut. And Scott standing there looking quite happy with the way the situation is looking at the moment.
Wonderful.
And we move down next to Damon.
Wonderful.
Counterattack.
I would like, as I'm, now closer to the ground, I would like to slash out at his legs, specifically his knees. I would like to.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Armor class of 21.
Oh.
Holy macaroni.
Yes, well, that was a 14, so that's a.
Right. With your training, you drop down and stab at him with the dagger, and it does strike, but unfortunately the armor deflects it, and you can see it kind of scuff right where the knee pad, not so the knee pad, the knee covering is, and just kind of skips off of it, and elicits a bit of laughter from him as it happens.
Yes, I am going to use fleet feet, and I am going to disengage, and I am going to back up 30 feet.
And Damon's like, nope, and jets out of there.
As I'm holding my wound.
As Damon comes into view, you can see that he is definitely leaking fluids at this point. And it's sweet, but still standing. So
I'm still here, it's okay.
Moving next in our lineup is the group of thieves that got bombed by the Reverend's bit of joy over there. And they... Thunderstruck! Let's see here. Judging by the distance where they are... Oh, wow. Yeah. They begin backing up around this direction here, out of view. All three of them begin running that direction.
Thanks, I hate it.
Out of view. There we go. And they disappear around the corner from where you guys can't see them now. And that is their action this round.
Sorry.
And we move over to Gendron.
All right.
David seems very confused at this moment in time. He's staring at the body kind of teetering in front of him, and you, at this point stop shaking as you actually seize control of the other man's body.
Okay, I'm going to use 15 feet of movement to get to where I think the safest spot would be to deposit this kid out of combat.
All right, you're going to drag him back into the box.
Behind something, somewhere hidden and covered.
As you go to do so, you see that there is a archer to your left and a crossbowman to your right. Otherwise, you'd have to try to move towards Damon and towards the stairwell with the kid.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to try and dash towards the party with the kid.
All right. So that would be your 60 feet of movement.
Can I make it in 30, or do I have to dash?
That's 30 feet right there.
30
5 feet from the door.
Well, that would put you certainly within coverage of the group at that point if you wish to do that.
Okay, yes, I'm going to deposit the kid on the floor then.
Okay. Rush over by the stairwell and try to dump him by the stairwell there.
Yes.
David's quite confused.
Yes, and then I'm going to use my dash to exit this body and use my 40 feet of flying speed to get back to my
Resume your
first
original body?
Yes.
Okay. So take the ghastly body and flip-flop it with the guy with the mace. Yep. Flip-flop. And put him back over.
Flip-flop.
Put him back over where you put Pavis. There we go. Yep. Guess he just jumped back to his original body at that point. Fun times. And anything else you're doing this round, Gendron?
I believe I can use a bonus action. I'm going to use Blessed Weapon. So taking out my mace, I'm just going to swing.
The maul?
The maul, yes,
Yeah.
the maul. And it's going to shine with a divine light.
All right. As you sling this off of your shoulder, it's been a long time since you've been able to reach out and touch the divine. And you raise your maul over your arms there, and it begins to shimmer and glow, and that just blinding light for a brief moment. And as you bring it back into your arms, it feels like the good old days. So you definitely are feeling quite charged at this moment in time. The crossbowman and the other bowman turn and face you and are looking to put arrows into your body. That is a 12.
That does not hit.
And that is a unnatural 20.
That does hit.
Okay. That does 8 points of damage.
All right.
And as he fires, it penetrates the armor that you're wearing, and you've got this arrow sticking out of you, and it's a very strange sensation. You register the hit, but you don't register the pain of it.
Oh, poor child.
Yeah, it seems like while you have a connection with the body, you don't quite have the full connection with the body at this point. And what's that?
Yeah.
And moving next over, we have Mary. You're up in the round.
Okay. I would like to move towards Thanor. That's his name, right?
What's that?
Thea. Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, you're gonna come around and. Okay, so Mary will be coming out of the stairs.
Yeah, move towards Thea, and I want to blind him.
Okay, so move 30 feet.
Well, this guy's here.
And she'd have to come around him because he's unresponsive, so that would not be attack of opportunity.
You're doing great.
6 would allow her to see Thea, correct?
Yeah, that's 30. Well, yeah, that's 30 feet right there.
Okay, so you can't get hand to hand with him, but you can see him from where you are. Is that what's the
Okay,
range?
I
on
don't
yours?
want to get hand to hand. I just want to like be closer.
Okay.
I want to blind him. So that is a Constitution saving throw.
And what is the total that I need to hit?
14.
Just barely makes it. As you invoke the blindness upon him, for a brief moment you see him shake his helmet, stares back at you, looking quite miffed, as far as you can tell, with his helmet. Anything else that you're doing this round?
Can you tell me where I am in relation to Pavis?
So you're right here.
Uh-huh.
Davis is right by the door. Yeah. Right there, yes. That's where Pavis is.
He's by the door.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go over to Pavis.
Okay.
Do I have any more movement left? No.
Unfortunately, you took the attack, so that would eat up the rest of your movement.
Okay.
That would eat up your movement.
That's all I'm doing for now then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least we know what you're looking to do next round on that. We can move forward and that happens. All right. Okay, Theot special action. Theot reaches into a pouch that he's got, pops the top on something, and as he brings it up, you can see this strange, almost like swirling cloud with it. It very similar kind of what the Reverend had, but he chugs this stuff. And then throws the broken bottle, throws the bottle on the ground and cracks his head a little bit there. And as he exhales, there's a little bit of lightning that comes out of his mouth a tad bit there. And he starts nodding his head. And that is his special action this round. Skeech, you're up.
Well, I didn't see that. So I would like to just kind of wander out of the door there, see this stumbling man,
Yeah, he's
just
swaying
kind of
next to you.
nod, pull out a small orb, and I'd like to prime this bomb and just gingerly toss it over those back boxes there where the archers were fighting our nightly ghost catch.
All right, make your attack rolls.
So that's going to be a 19.
Okay, so what is there a save or anything against this? What are you
well,
looking at?
for the AOE there is.
So,
Skeet, I've never seen you this happy.
roll the damage, please.
So, it's going to be 9 fire damage, and then everyone within a 15-foot diameter. Also, the boxes are going to take double damage from this.
Take that box.
Everyone needs to make a DC 13 deck save for half
How
damage.
far away is Gindrin from there?
Actually, he doesn't need to. By some sort of goblin trickery, there is a blast cone that just hits everything but him.
Alrighty then. So, as you chuck your grenade of doom
And you'll
up
take
and over
no
the
damage.
boxes, the archer is still focused on Gindrin. He's reaching back to grab another arrow, and it kind of drops into the little satchel piece that he's wearing as it goes off, and he's gone. The boxes,
Missed.
Yeah.
as Damon is standing there, the boxes kind of explode over his head like those really cool scenes in the movie where the hero's walking away. And most of the boxes are still kind of there, but a lot of small ones have been blasted off all around Damon and don't strike him. Neither does it seem to strike Gindrin at this moment, but the wall around him has this strange carbon-scored etch of where his body would have been standing at that moment.
Classic goblin.
We started this session talking about gasoline explosions, and here we are.
So
It's also incredibly loud.
do you have anything else that you're doing?
Yeah, so I'm standing by this, like, teetering guy still. If I could take my bonus action and just take the dagger out of his hand.
The dagger is out of his hand. All he has is his mace that he's currently holding.
I could take that instead and just down the stairs.
Clank, 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 down the stairs the mace goes.
That's
and
it.
he's just teetering.
I love that.
Alright, moving to the next set.
We don't need
So-
this goblin smasher. We don't-
You want to stay here, get out of the way so other people can get out.
I'm very small.
This guy here is going to make a rush towards Gindrin.
Man, Skeet's just like laying it down.
I only have so many of these.
Okay, so he's going to stop at 30 feet,
Turns out we just needed to just fight in a room of boxes.
and he's going to hurl a dagger at Gindrin, which is a 21.
That hits.
Dagger does 4 points of damage. And now Gindrin's standing there with an arrow poking out here and a dagger poking off this shoulder here. Again, you're like, and you're registering the fact that you now have a dagger and an arrow. So and the thief that threw it looks quite surprised as well, that your dagger's buried quite nicely in you, that you're just not even moving or reacting to the fact that you have the dagger sitting in you. This thief here is going to head over to Mary, and he is going to brain her.
He's gonna try.
That would be a 16. I believe if you have your shield out, you're sitting at what, an 18?
Sorry?
I believe your armor plus a shield is at an 18, your AC?
Yeah.
Okay, so he swings up and strikes your shield and reverberates off of it, no damage is done, and looks quite disappointed in the fact that he did not get to tear into you whatsoever on that. And that is it for that group of individuals, I believe. And that would move us down to Anna at this point.
Great. Having seen that very cool glowing weapon thing happen, and remembering what Damon said about making sure there are no shadows, Anna's gonna hold her maul and concentrate and divinely charge it. So the weapon starts emitting a glowing light. And how far am I from Fiat right now?
He's here, you're here.
You would have to dash, I believe, to make the distance, to close the gap.
Okay.
But that would put you between him and the rest of your party.
Okay, I'll just move my full 30 feet, because I think it took an action to use that.
Be difficult terrain. So that's 25 feet, and then you got all these people in your way.
Yep. So unfortunately, right now, you're kind of blocked at that point.
Okay. shoot. All right. I guess I'll I guess I'll just get as far as I can. And before I leave Vaughn and the Reverend, I'm just gonna be like, "Don't die."
Oh, I don't intend to.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that you're doing this round?
Nope. That I guess with my bonus. With my bonus action, I'm going to cast Divine Protection on myself.
All right. And that raises your AC, I believe, at that point to a 19, right?
Yes, that is
All
correct.
right. As you invoke the Divine Protection,
Just
all around
It
your
feels
body,
good.
you can see that the armor that you're wearing now begins to glow the same way that your maul also was glowing. And that moves us to our last group of thieves. So the guys that are currently in front, right there, are also going to try to put holes in Anna. So the one directly in front of her is going to close the gap.
He can't go through Mary. Mary's in the way. Mary's blocking.
All right. Well, he can throw his dagger at her. And once again, Mary, the dagger comes whisking at you, and you just knock it aside with your shield without even a second's hesitation. And that is his attack there.
Wait, sorry. Did you say? Because this is Mary right here.
Yes.
This is Anna. So he's right next to Mary.
That's which one?
This is Mary right
Yes.
here. This is Anna. So yeah, he can attack. He's in melee with Mary.
Well, the one behind him is the one with the
Oh,
dagger.
oh, my bad.
Okay. So the one directly in front is who's with that?
This guy, he's got two axes.
Yes, he's going to attempt to do a double strike on you. And once again, with your shield, just bang, bang. So you're just sitting out there just tearing these blows off of your shield. It's tearing up the paint job on it, but you know what? It's still a shield's still holding up as it is just parrying blow after blow after blow. And the final guy back here is beginning to move his 30 feet up that direction. And that brings us over to the Reverend.
All right, so seeing all this amazing flame effects that we got going on over here, I pull out the potion of Breath of Fire drink.
All right. It is a very strange sensation as it rolls down your throat, and then it strikes your stomach, and you can feel this churning, this almost painful burning for a brief moment, and you give a bit of a this little poof of smoke comes out, and as the Reverend opens his mouth, you can see flames are rolling around.
He got the
his
Reaper
mouth,
beam.
his mouth like
I may regret this. Can you please point me where is Theod?
Theod's right there.
So I can see him.
Where are you?
I don't know where I am.
Reverend would be right by the door frame there.
Oh, okay.
You would have been just outside of the door frame.
Just outside.
Okay. Is that an enemy next to me there?
This is Sky.
Uh-huh.
This is a bad guy who's down. This is Echo.
The bad guy that's down is dead.
Who's behind me there by the door?
The guy that's down is dead.
Good job.
You
You
did
know
that into the other enemy.
Okay. All right. So I'm moving around so that I can see.
The ones that disappeared from view earlier?
I want to see Theod.
He's on the other side.
If
I
you
won't
would
be
do
able
a
to-
breathe fire, you'd be breathing
I'm
fire.
not going to try to breathe fire on him.
Okay.
You could
As
try
I
to
say,
climb on
because
the
your friends would
boxes.
be in the way.
Like, this is as far as you can get. Right here is as
Yeah.
far as because all these people are blocking.
Could he climb the
Can I? I'm going to go back around and try to find the guys that.
All right.
How many feet?
So 30 feet.
Can I get
Or
around to
the
them?
point where you can see them?
Yeah.
6.
There you go.
Okay. And
And you can see all three of those guys kind of clustered over there right now. They're obviously looking, their backs are turned to you. It looks like they're coming around behind where Theod is.
I want to breathe fire on one of them.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, go ahead and make your attack roll.
That is a 21.
That is the absolute reverse of their 12.
Yeah. So they're gonna do 4d6. Get on my d6 here. All right. That's 22.
The Reverend
I think
opens
he's
his
fried.
mouth, and it it looks.
Does it just illuminate that side of the room?
You strike this guy, and the flames engulf him, and immediately he bursts. Everything on him that is combustible ignites, and almost like a candle wick, he goes up like that. And there's a horrid scream, but then the oxygen is sucked out of his lungs, and he just falls to the ground, almost nearly incinerated to a crisp. His friends look over as this is happening, and you just see their entire attitude goes from this, "We've got this," to, "Oh my God, we're going to die." And remember, these are the same ones that just got bombed by the Reverend moments before.
Yeah.
And they're not looking as great as some of the rest of the people.
Yep. And that guy that just got next to his buddy, that's my bonus action. The one that just got fried, his buddy next to him, I pull out a bell out of my pocket, I ring it, and I say, "If you have any wisdom, you will flee here now, mortal."
And you're
casting death knell.
It's necrotic damage, right?
Wisdom save.
All right.
Oh no.
How much damage should they take should they fail?
4.
4 points of damage. And another one keels over dead. And so basically, you
Didn't
literally
no
see him
chance
like,
to flee.
he goes white as a sheet and like clutches his heart and just falls over. The third one's looking over and just drops his weapons and drops down on his knees and puts his hands behind his head like this, like,
Point my rapier at him and I say, "You will flee here, or you will die like them."
As you try to say this, basically what ends up happening is just fire comes rolling out.
Blackbeard moment.
Again, it sounded so much cooler than in your head, but you didn't realize even when you did the death knell, there really weren't a whole lot of words that were coming out at that moment in time.
Don't care at all. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing it."
You're in the moment there.
That's all I got.
And we are going to go through back to the top of the round real quick. We have Echo and Sky. Oh wait, no,
Does
sorry,
mine get
we
to
have
go?
Vaughn.
Can I go, please?
Oh, I thought you were
Please,
saying-
sir, I have to take my turn.
My bad.
I walk in with a pizza, look at the room on fire.
Is it an Angie's Pizza?
It is an Angie's pizza.
Oh, okay.
When adventure works out of big hunger, Angie's Pizza has got you covered.
I gotta feed the fire, right?
That was better.
I had been right by the Reverend, saw a Reverend run in and to the side. What do I see when I immediately enter after all that has just transpired?
There's a man sitting there swaying. His eyes are kind of rolled back in his head. You've got Skeech looking super duper happy for some reason. You're not quite sure what's going on. Damon is leaking fluids that look like they should be on the inside, not on the outside. But he's looking super cool as these smoldering ashes are still kind of drifting down behind him. There are screams of panic and terror coming from around the corner that you can see Reverend disappearing behind it. And then you can just make Anna out looking glowy and super duper awesome. Obviously, at the moment, getting ready to do something horrible to whoever's on the receiving end of the glowiness.
Pegasus is right by us here.
Pegasus is right by us.
Yep.
You see on the other side of some of the boxes, you just see Sky's tail wagging back and forth, and there's some fluids coming up from behind there.
Drop it. Drop it.
Like that. So it's pretty much chaos at this moment.
Looking at Damon, how wounded overall does Damon look? Like death's door or?
I mean, it's pretty rough, but I still got a couple rounds in me.
David looks like he can tank another hit like that.
Do I? Do I, Will?
As far as I can tell, it looks like you can tank another hit like that. You got this.
It's not immediate
Watch.
death.
Davis points down to the child.
Remember the one we were doing all this for?
This is for you.
You can't take another one like that. Rushes into danger. I want to get, if I can see, I'm looking for where Gendron is, where I know Gendron to be.
You don't really know where Gendron is at this moment, because Gendron's actually behind the boxes there. Yeah, so your view would be obscured from where he sits.
Can I get to a position where I'm able to see Theont?
Yes, if you rush over to where Anna and Damon currently are, you'll be able to see Theon.
Is there anyone, how close are people to Captain Theon?
I do believe there's about a 5-foot gap between him and the closest
I'm
person.
sort of close. There's an enemy in between us.
So this is Anna. This is Mary. Bad guy. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. I'd like to use my bonus action. He does the same thing. His eye kind of, the scar flares up a little bit. Deep breath and exhales, and a little bit of like a reddish mist as I use my Slayer's Focus on Captain Theot.
All right.
And I'd like to go ahead and train the crossbow with a bomb attached to the end of it. And fire it at Captain Theot.
Yes.
It is a 21.
Dodge this.
It misses.
Oh.
It
All right.
still explodes.
So, judging by where you're shooting, oh no. Make another roll.
It's 12 on the die.
12 on the die.
Do you want any mod or anything?
Yeah, you. No, this is just a straight roll,
Okay.
which is high enough to hit the AC. Do you see the guy standing back there? Yeah, no. You
Way
guys are
back.
Following.
Way back.
Oh, no, wait. From Ron shooting, he just hit the boxes. Never mind. I was just looking at an angle where he would be, but that's wrong. The trajectory would strike the boxes behind him.
You just don't
So you
damage the
basically put a large
boxes.
hole in the boxes, and you just see from the boxes all kinds of silverware, gold-plated things like that come spilling out of the boxes. And yeah, looks back at the box and looks over at you like,
Calls both back.
oops. All right. Unfortunately, that's where we're going to have to wrap things up for this week. However, we will be back again on the 18th for our next episode. And then we will be live the 24th at Origins. So definitely join us there. If you're unfortunately unable to join us for that, we will be uploading the live one that we do on the 24th on the 25th for those of you that won't be there. But it would be so much better if you came and joined us. So thank you all very much, and we hope to see you again next week. You all have a great week.